When Akira and his classmates are summoned to another world, everyone expects a grand hero to rise, but fate gives Akira the role of a mere assassin, hidden in the shadows, ignored by all. Yet soon, they'll realize the truth. The weakest one among them is actually the strongest of all. Now, Akira begins his deadly journey to uncover the dark secrets lurking within the royal palace. The episode starts with this great anime. Yes, my friends, it's Akira. That killer man tried to follow and attack him, but with very simple movements, Akira jumps from the top of a tower and targets him face to face. The fight was great. In the end, one of their swords goes silent. Then the masked man lunges for the finishing blow, but Akira dodges it with great ease. Swords then come out of the masked man's leg, but Akira parries them as well. Not only that, but Akira strikes him with a blow to the knees, completely immobilizing him. He is immediately sentenced to death by that great hero, Akira. On the other hand, we see Akira carrying out an execution on another man. The scene then shifts to the morning at school, where the girls are talking among themselves and with the boy. They ask him, "We're going to the mall and then hang out. Do you want to come with us?" He replies, "I'm very sorry, but I'm very busy with the student council. I'll join you next time." We know these girls are named Hoshoyama, Shiori, and Yuki, who is talking to you now. She speaks with her friend, saying, "Do you remember those silly jokes Sugimura used to tell during English class? I don't know if I was supposed to laugh or cry." Her friend responds, "Is that what's on your mind? You worried me, girl. I thought you were talking about a murder or something." Next, we see Tsukasa talking to his friend, saying, "I need to test my new bamboo sword." Everyone is busy talking to each other, except for that mysterious boy who is holding his phone now, my friends. It's Akira. The other classmates wonder, has this boy been in our class from the start? They reply, "We don't know, because he leaves no trace. His presence is barely noticeable." At that moment, Akira was deep in thought. Perhaps something will happen now. And indeed, a few moments later, the phone screen changes, and then something very strange happens. It looks like threads, or a very advanced magical circle perhaps, gathers the entire place. They then find themselves in a large hall, and a person comes out and says, "His Majesty wishes to speak with you. Please lend him your ears." Everyone is surprised and asks, "What have you done to us?" The one-eyed old man gets angry and tells them, "Silence, please." Then the king speaks. "Welcome, and thank you for your response from your distant world. Yes, my friends, you have been transported to another world called Morrigan, and you are currently in the human Ritz Kingdom, the largest state on the human continent. We are currently under attack by demons, but a hero from another world is the only one capable of defeating the demon lord." Some rejoice, saying, "Are you serious? Are we in another world now? Adventures, heroes, powerful abilities, a guild, it looks like a dream." The king assures them not to worry, that it is the truth. "Now, we wish to discover the hero among you. There will be only one hero. Please place your hands on this crystal." Indeed, everyone comes forward one after the other, but so far, we haven't known who the hero is. Their stats are very high. Yuri was level 1 and a magic swordsman. There are many others, a wind mage and a fire mage. As for the mysterious Akira, his turn has not yet come. One person's number is 500, one is 200, one is 300. Akira is surprised and thinks to himself, are these the hero's numbers for them? Well, what if they saw my number, my stats? Are they telling the truth about this so-called demon lord? I don't know anything about this world, and revealing my unusual stats now could cause me a big problem. But there's no way out of this. At that moment, he activates his Conceal Presence skill so that his stats do not appear before these people, as he does not yet know if they are lying. His friend had been talking to him a moment ago, but he looks beside him and doesn't find him. He looks right and left, then goes to search for him. We then see the old man writing down the stats and telling them, "We will prepare the equipment you need according to your class, and we have also prepared rooms for you to rest in tonight." Meanwhile, we see Akira, whom no one can see because he has activated his invisibility feature. He says, "I wonder what's going on." Not only that, but as he walks in the hallway, he finds that there are surveillance cameras. Perhaps they are watching them closely. No doubt they are hiding something. The scene moves to those dilapidated rooms that have not been cleaned for a long time. We see Akira sitting on one of the beds. Then he jumps up and says, "Are we really in another world? What a feeling!" He climbs up very quickly and says, "Wow, the agility I have. I feel like I have high physical fitness now." He then hides his presence again because he hears some people talking and asking how are the scoundrels doing. The other person, the queen, replies, "They are just children from a world without magic. They won't cause us any trouble." We know the people talking are the king and queen. The king says, "Excellent. Remember, no one should enter the castle archive. They shouldn't know too much." Meanwhile, we see Akira in disguise, hearing everything, but he still doesn't understand the truth of the matter. Perhaps their intentions are very bad. We need some time and we will analyze everything for you. Akira talks to himself saying, "What should I do now?" He even takes out his sword and says, "I can kill him now without anyone knowing anything about it." The scene then shifts to the breakfast feast. A large banquet as if we were in the military, but the food is clean, not like in the military. We also see Akira talking to himself and saying, "Should I cancel the invisibility and tell them what I saw yesterday, or keep it a secret? But how do I convince them of that?" Then we see him listening to Tsukasa talking to the others and saying to them, "Listen, friends, since we came to this world and they specially summoned us from another world to help them, we must indeed help them and defeat the damned demon lord. We must be united and help them for the good." Everyone congratulates and encourages him. After that, they gather with a commander from this world named Mithrai. He welcomes them all. He is the commander of the Ritz Knights. Pay close attention, young heroes. You will be trained here. After a month, you will enter a labyrinth to test your abilities. I don't think you have any experience now, and when our turn comes, we will do everything with you. Meanwhile, the scene cuts to Akira, who says, "What should I do? How should I act after learning about this major conspiracy against us? I won't be harmed or anything will happen to me because I'm invisible, and I'm also strong enough. After that, we see Akira standing by the fountain with the invisibility feature active, but that commander comes up and says to him, "Did I lose my mind?" Akira is shocked and says, "What's going on? Did I forget to turn off the ability, or does it have a certain duration? How did he see me?" But at that moment, the Knight Commander reassures him and says, "Look, buddy, my eyes are very special. I can detect thermal changes with them, and that's why I can see you now." Here, Akira didn't think twice and reached for his side to draw his deadly sword, but the commander said to him, Wait, hold on, man. I won't tell the king or the princess. Don't worry." Akira asked him, "Aren't you on their side?" He replied that the matter is very complicated. "I will tell you the details, but don't tell anyone what I'm about to tell you. I think you want to see the archive." Akira replied, "Yes, because I don't understand anything about this world." Akira agrees to see the archive because he knows nothing about this world, the magic and the abilities within it. Saran knows that Akira's presence concealment skill is at its highest level, a segment where Akira says most of his other skills are at level 1 and he doesn't know how to raise them. Saran offers to teach him these skills. Akira replies that he still has to find a way to return to his world as his family is waiting for him, and asks if Saran knows how he can return. Sadly, Saran doesn't know, but he advises Akira to become stronger anyway. "If you die before you get the chance to return, everything will be in vain. At least I can help you become a master assassin." However, Akira doesn't like receiving help for free. Saran tells him, "You can repay the favor by telling me about the world you used to live in. I'm eager to hear something new." He extends his hand, and Akira accepts the offer. Saran then explains the current situation in this world. Besides humans and demons, there are also elves and beastmen races, and they all live on separate continents. Akira begins his training under Saran's supervision. Saran starts by placing some rocks on his back and making him lie prone on the blade of his hand, assuring him, "This way you will be strong. You can only raise your class by killing monsters, but you can raise your skill level through training." After that, the exercise becomes more rigorous, adding more stones, and Akira performs push-ups on only 2 fingers. He makes very good progress in the training. Later that evening, Gil expresses surprise that Saran pays so much attention to Akira, more than anyone else. Saran tells him that Akira is a very amusing young man, and his stories about his world are exciting to hear. The country he came from produced the very first hero. Furthermore, the boy's presence concealment skill has reached the maximum level. Cameras cannot track him. Gil is shocked by this powerful skill, noting that the only person in the world who can perform this technique is the hero. Suddenly, Akira appears and says, "I've been sneaking into the archive every night to read, and I found this terrifying book containing coup d'etat plans." Akira realizes that Saran wrote it himself, made it look like a recipe book, and hid it in the archive. Saran knew that Akira would eventually find it. Saran says, "Our king is completely incapacitated. He's ready to pay a hefty price to change the laws of our world, and we can't allow him to do that. However, we knights owe a debt to the royal family." Akira responds, "It became clear to me from reading it that you are trying to end his rule peacefully." Saran is pleased that Akira is so sharp-sighted and figured that out from reading the book just once. Akira suggests, "It would be easier if I just killed the king. Nothing ties me to this world. I snuck into his library on the first night we were summoned to this world, and he didn't even know I was behind him. Yet, I couldn't do it." Saran agrees that his decision was the right one. It's hard to carry the burden of killing another person. You may be an assassin, but that doesn't mean you have to kill. Don't shed blood, especially if you want to return to your world. Akira agrees, as he would disappoint his mother and sister if he returned home as a killer. Saran advises him to be an assassin who values life so that he can return to his world and family alive, and there is no shame in that. "I care about you very much, Akira, and I expect a lot from you. And I'm not just talking about your stats. You didn't follow the crowd after being summoned. You used your mind and chose the optimal action. Only those who have endured many hardships and overcome them all are capable of that." Akira says, "I've lived in the shadows since childhood, and no one ever noticed me. This is the first time anyone has praised me." Saran then asks Akira to help with his coup before returning to his world, and they will ensure it remains peaceful. Akira doesn't give a definitive answer, but says, "I'll think about it." In the morning, Saran informs the youths that they have completed a full month of training, and now they will go to the great Confronting Labyrinth. "Hold your heads high, heroes, for you are already heroes." Everyone cheers them as they are about to go fight in this labyrinth and dungeon. However, Akira notices someone watching him. He uses his concealment energy and ability and goes to find the girl who is observing him. He asks her why she is watching him. She says, "Just curiosity. Everyone treats you and your friends like heroes, but do you know what was sacrificed to summon you here?" Akira, surprised, says, "I don't know yet." The girl replies, "Discover the answer yourself." Before she leaves, the girl predicts that this is not their last encounter. Meanwhile, the scene shifts to the dungeon they entered to fight. The dungeon is full of traps. The youths and children begin to attack the monsters, fighting and defeating many of them. Akira starts attacking the monsters, then asks Commander Saran whether they should retreat or continue to advance, fearing for the safety of the children with him. The commander agrees with the idea and praises everyone for doing well in their first time. Then, Commander Saran uses his holy sword to cleanse the area in front of him of monsters. After that, everyone moves to the upper floor. They are shocked to find many very strong monsters. Tsukasa remembers when the girl gave him a smoke bomb to ward off monsters if he got into any trouble, and he uses it. However, suddenly, the very strong monster, a minotaur, appears in the middle of the smoke. Everyone is surprised that this monster is on the upper floors. What is a monster like this doing on this floor? Akira starts attacking it with powerful strikes from his sword, but his sword breaks. Everyone is shocked by the monster's toughness. Tsukasa tries to help Akira, but his arms are broken and he cannot move. He says, "I am the hero and I must win, I must protect my class." Akira asks him to wait, but the hero Tsukasa says, "If I don't protect our class, who will?" Akira responds, "The hero's power is to save the world, we can protect ourselves, can't we? Isn't this what we train for?" But the hero Tsukasa is very desperate and unable to do anything. A magical curse has affected his mind and spirit, and he starts speaking strangely. Akira orders someone to cast a spell on Tsukasa to remove the evil curse that has afflicted him. The girl performs the incantation, and the curse begins to fade. Akira continues to attack the monster in alliance with his friends and the commanders. Commander Saran begins to activate his holy sword, and strikes the monster with a powerful blow. At this moment, Akira activates shadow magic to defeat the monster. Will they be able to defeat it? And will the commanders strike, in alliance with Akira, succeed? This is what we will find out in the next episode, so stay tuned and please subscribe to the channel and activate the bell button to receive all our new content. The anime episode begins with Akira using his power, which is shadow magic, to defeat a very large monster. He drags the monster underground, and the fight ends with Akira's victory. Afterwards, Saran speaks to him, acknowledging that the effort truly exhausted him, but he performed well. He then thanks Akira for his help, stating that they all survived because of him. Akira replies that Saran was the one who helped him control his magic when it almost went out of control during training. Saran tells him that he had never heard of the additional shadow magic skill. It is very powerful but difficult to control and exhausts the user, so Akira must try not to use it unless absolutely necessary. Regardless of that, Saran says he brought Akira something important. He takes out a sword and tells him it is called a katana, crafted by the first hero himself. Akira is surprised that Saran gave it to him instead of the current hero. Saran replies that the hero has his own holy sword, and besides, the king would notice the hero carrying a sword like this. Akira doesn't understand the problem, so Saran confesses that he stole it from the royal armory. Akira accepts the sword and thanks Saran, then asks for its name. Saran says its name is inscribed near the hilt, but he doesn't know what it says. When Akira looks at the hilt, he finds the name Yato no Kami written on it, which means Heavenly Knight's Sword. He also finds a message written by the sword's owner, hoping that the sword would find its way to his successor and guide him in times of distress. Akira becomes very excited to meet that person. Saran then tells him that he also wished to meet the hero, but the curse afflicting him was very powerful, strongly resisting heroes. Although he knows who is behind this curse, he can't do anything. The scene then shifts to the princess performing a certain ritual. Akira enters and strikes the crystal in front of her. The princess is shocked by his presence and asks who he is. He informs her that what he did would remove the curse afflicting the hero. The princess asks how he entered her room without permission. Akira replies that ladies do not use curses to control others, calling her more of a witch. He asks her why she is doing this, and she replies that everything she does is for his majesty. He asks her why she follows his orders and for what purpose, and she replies again that everything she does is for his majesty. Akira returns to Saran, who asks him whether he revealed himself to the princess or not. Akira says he did because he wanted to know her opinion on what she was doing, but he couldn't get a direct answer from her because she had become a mere puppet in the king's hands. After they finish talking, Saran orders him to go to sleep, but tells him not to sleep in the royal castle because the princess will curse everyone except the hero, and she can't touch Akira because she knows nothing about him. Akira understands that Saran means she will try to kill him instead, as they will search every corner of the castle. Akira asks Saran if he won't scold him for revealing himself. Saran replies that it is part of youthful recklessness, and it is the duty of them, the adults, to compensate for it. Akira is pleased and wishes there were more adults like him in his world. Saran asks him to take him along when he returns to his world so he can explore it. The next morning, Akira wakes up and senses something strange, so he approaches the castle to see what is happening. Tsukasa sees him and asks, astonished, where he had been, assuming that the curse must have been broken. Akira replies that he was sleeping, then asks what was happening. Tsukasa sadly replies that Commander Saran had been killed. Akira runs to Saran's body and cries for him. One of the trainees informs him that the dagger used to kill Saran was Akira's own, accusing him of being a very suspicious person who disappears. The scene shifts to the training grounds. Akira, suddenly appearing from the dungeon, Sardab, realizes that the others present have been afflicted by the princess's curse. Everyone then informs him that he is the primary suspect in the incident. Tsukasa stands before them and tells them to calm down, stating they cannot accuse him of murder for that reason alone. The king arrives at that moment and accuses him of committing a great sin by killing the commander of the knights, declaring that he must face justice and his demise. Akira uses his magic, invisibility magic. Before anyone can seize him, everyone is shocked by what happened, as they cannot locate him. Akira then goes to Duel, who tells him that the knight commander was killed by the king's personal assassins, the Night Crows, Gerben al-Lail, and that they are targeting him too. Duel informs him that the commander left provisions for him in his room. He should take them and escape. Akira goes to the commander's room, retrieves the items left for him, and flees far away. That night, the king stands with the princess, telling her he doesn't believe Saran was killed so easily, especially since he, the king/Saran, finished cursing everyone except the hero. The princess informs him that all they need now is a pretext to wage war on the east. But the king now needs those children to be effective pawns, and Akira will soon fall dead in some trench. The king then asks the princess to order the Night Crows to hunt him down as a precaution. The princess agrees and leaves to do so. The following morning, Akira is seen reading a message from Saran. Saran's message states that if Akira finds himself on the run, there is no better place to hide than one of the dungeons, Sarab, but he must remember that the water supply is limited there, so he must plan carefully. Saran adds that if Akira wants to know a way to raise his class level, the answer is still the dungeon. The deeper he goes, the stronger the enemies he will face. Akira then recalls a conversation with the commander, asking why everyone doesn't go to those dungeons. The commander had replied that the place is extremely dangerous, and even concealing one's presence wouldn't work against monsters with enhanced senses of smell and hearing. However, if he raises his killing skill, he will be able to conceal his scent, footsteps, and even his thermal signature. Akira does indeed go to one of the dungeons where he finds and kills many monsters. He then remembers the commander's words that once his class level reaches 100, he will acquire a unique skill that will surely help him succeed in this world. To start, he must go to the Cantonine Maze and attempt to defeat the bosses he encounters after every 10 floors. Akira attacks those bosses, then uncovers the rest of the commander's message, which states that after entering the boss's chamber, he will not be able to leave unless one of them dies. But if Akira defeats it, his abilities will evolve tremendously. Akira is indeed seen beginning his attack on that giant monster. Akira attacks the massive monster and blocks all its blows, but suddenly the monster strikes him in the back. Akira cries out, "Death! I won't be able to return home, and I will never be able to avenge Commander Saran, but I will fight with all my might." Akira then uses his magic and manages to defeat the monster, tearing it to shreds. Afterward, Akira is seen lying on the ground, severely injured beyond the limit, and his treatment will require the use of his emergency reserve of magical energy. Afterward, the scene transitions to the palace, where a young man speaks to Tsukasa, saying they were told to go to the Demon King's sector immediately, but they are still shocked by Oda killing Commander Saran. Tsukasa thinks to himself that it must be the princess's curse that Deputy Commander Jill spoke about. He tells them he will go alone, but many of his friends want to accompany him and escort him on his way. He then tells them that the king himself ordered them to go fight the Demon King. A girl informs him that she believes everyone there is safe from the curse, stating that she is a magic nullifier, which makes her resistant to curses. Recently, she has been able to sense when someone else is afflicted by a curse. Asahina replies, "I think my actions have something to do with that. My memories of it are fuzzy, but I vaguely remember breaking crystals in an unfamiliar room. I did all of this with this sword, but I don't know their source. Manipulation is stronger than a curse when it comes to controlling others. I carried out Commander Saran's orders. I wish you a successful journey, future heroes. One last thing, I need to contact Akira. I should have talked to you while you were hiding. I failed to support you, whether you were afflicted by the curse or not." Then, we see Asahina when he met Akira working in that place. Akira tells him he hasn't spoken to anyone because he saw him working there, and he doesn't want anyone at school to know, especially his little sister, who is in the first year. Asahina asks, "You are Kika's brother? That's a very nice coincidence." Next, Akira wakes up, realizing he was dreaming about his friend Asahina, and wishes he were okay. He also wishes his mother and Yui were okay. He notices he doesn't feel any pain. "My stats have increased greatly. Why are my HP almost completely full? I think I broke 3 ribs. The poison spread to my leg, and shadow magic, which was level 3, and the additional shadow magic increased by 2 levels by using it once. I feel like it's easier to control. I don't understand what's happening, but all I can do is keep moving forward." Akira then leaves, but encounters a large slime in his path. Akira explodes it, and a beautiful girl emerges from it. He thinks, she is an elf, and she has the most beautiful face I have ever seen. He thinks, I guess it's time to use that strange skill. He activates those strange eyes, which allow him to see the world in another way, but he can't bear it and immediately stops the skill, as it was too much. Yes, it is a dangerous ability that almost cost me my sight. I must avoid using it. At that moment, that very beautiful elven girl collapses, but thankfully she is okay. When he looks at her, he thinks to himself, I glimpsed her condition just now. Her HP has dropped to 2%. She asks him, where are we now? He tells her they are on the 75th floor of the maze. When she asks him who he is, and before he can answer, she faints and collapses onto his lap. She has a high fever. He takes her to a location and tries to treat her. When she wakes up, she finds herself in this place, where he was preparing nice tea for her. He tells her to drink and warm herself because it is very cold there. She sadly tells him, unfortunately, hunger prevents me from sleeping. He brings her some hot food, which she eats happily and thanks him for. He has taken complete care of her. He tells her he is used to it because his mother was not in good health, and he always took care of her. She looks up and sees writing on the wall and asks him, did you write this? He tells her, yes, it means 69. I do this on every floor to track my progress. She says, but you previously said you were on the 75th floor. Why did you come up again? Aren't you here to raise your level? He tells her, yes, but this was the closest water hole. I carried you here, specifically to this spot. She asks him, did you touch my body in a strange way? Did you harass me? He assures her he would not and did not do that, and tells her to go to sleep. She says, okay, I am a member of the royal family. I'm truly happy that no one has ever done something like this for me before. They then fall into a deep sleep. Afterward, the scene shifts to when they were fighting that large troll, and he asks her, why are you following me? Haven't you gotten better? You should find your own way. She replies, it just so happens that I am heading in the same direction. At that moment, they enter a place, but are shocked by the presence of a very great dragon that quickly attacks them. Akira activates Conceal Presence, but it doesn't work against the dragon because it tracks his magical energy. The dragon strikes him a powerful blow, but at that moment, the dragon lunges at him again. Akira activates the strange power he possesses and manages to deliver a decisive blow. However, after a few moments, something strange happens, and a strange beam of light shines from that dragon. Or what will happen? We will see that in the next episode. Follow us to find out everything new, but you must subscribe to the channel and activate the bell icon. The anime episode featuring Akira and Amelia begins when they are in this labyrinth, where a large cat appears before them. When Akira looks at it, they realize it is still alive but very weak. It possesses an additional ability to change its shape. When Amelia examines it, she realizes that it was not a true dragon to fall so easily. It is a monster known as the Black Cat. Akira asks her how she knew that, asking if she used her world's eyes. She is surprised by his question, as it is natural for her to use them, then asks him if he uses them as well. He replies that he cannot control them, and likely needs to raise their level. Amelia understands that he is ignoring this ability. At that moment, the cat wakes up and tells them that it cannot believe it allowed a grunt to defeat it, as it had transformed into a dragon just for fun, and it seems it got carried away in the fight. Akira is shocked that it can talk. The cat tells him that he shouldn't think it's a monster controlled only by its instincts. The Demon Lord created it to be a super intelligent monster. Akira responds that he has met others like it before. The cat accepts his words, stating that he can't expect much from a boy less than a century old. Akira gets angry and tells him that he is sharp-tongued, but he knows its current situation. The damage prevents it from moving, and they can do anything they want to it. The cat tells him to do what he wants, but first it asks him to let it deliver the Demon Lord's message. The message asks him to go to Volcano, the land of demons, where he will be waiting for him in his castle in the depths. Akira is surprised, wondering how the Demon Lord knew about him and also knew he came here. The cat then tells Akira that it has done its duty and does not know what is on the Demon Lord's mind, and if Akira wants to kill it, he should do so. Akira refuses, but the cat insists and asks him if he doesn't consider other races, demons, and monsters as enemies. Akira replies that it is none of his business, and he is not convinced that all demons are evil. Amelia tells him that the chamber will not be opened unless the boss or its challenger dies. Akira tells her that he knows, but he doesn't want to kill the cat because he loves cats. He cannot kill a beautiful dark-furred cat like this, especially since it can talk, unlike the rest of the monsters. The cat gets fed up with him, mocking him that if he doesn't want to die, he should kill it. Akira tells him that there must be a secret passage or something similar here. Amelia thinks about his words for a moment, trying to come up with a way to enter the room. Then she comes up with an idea. A contract with the monster. If he makes it his pet, it will no longer be the boss. The cat replies that her words are correct, but only theoretically, because this ritual requires the master to have perfect control over magical energy, which is impossible for this boy. Amelia tells him that she heard he is the only person who can do that, the hero of the legend. The cat realizes that Akira tricked him by externalizing magical energy outside his body, meaning Akira can perform the ritual, but she doesn't know if the ritual will succeed or not. Akira asks her what will happen if the ritual fails. The cat answers that one of them will die, or perhaps both. Amelia gets scared and asks him not to risk his life for something like this, but Akira decides to do it. The cat agrees to what he wants. It doesn't care if the matter fails and they both die. Akira gets angry at him for thinking this way. The cat tells him that it realizes no good will come from its continued existence. Akira interrupts him and asks Amelia about the ritual. She tells him that first he must name the monster. Akira places his hands on the cat, thinking of a name for it. Then he gives it the name Yuro, a name that suits its beautiful dark fur. Amelia then tells him that he must leave his hand on the cat for his magical energy to flow into it, warning him that there is no turning back after that. Either he succeeds in saving their souls, or they die. Akira places his hand on the cat and begins the ritual. Suddenly, he finds himself in another world, where the cat is fighting him. The cat tells him that it wants to fight him, and if he dies, its existence will vanish here, and his body will remain as a decaying corpse. Killing it is the only way to escape this world. Then it hits him with its tail, but Akira manages to escape. Then he uses his staff to hit it with. The cat uses its magic, telling him that if he wants to survive here, he must kill it now. Akira ignores it and lets the cat stab him in the body. The cat is shocked by what is happening because he should have fought it. Akira tells him that he won't kill it, and he knows that it doesn't want to kill him either, because there is no rule that says monsters must kill other races. The cat replies that it wasn't a rule, it was just instinct, but Akira influences him, telling him that he knows he is tired of living this way, so he will watch over him and make sure he doesn't cause this dizziness again. The cat returns to its nature and does not fight Akira. Then we see Akira, in his world, alive after the rituals ended. At that moment, Amelia is happy that Akira is still alive. After that, Akira puts his hand on the cat, and the same mark on the cat's forehead appears on his hand. Amelia tells him that this mark symbolizes their contract and is proof of their spiritual connection. Afterward, the cat sits and talks to Akira, telling him that it has become interested in seeing where his life will take him. Akira introduces himself, saying he is very pleased to meet him. The cat, Yuro, declares his loyalty to him. Amelia introduces herself to him and tells him her name. Suddenly, an automatic transfer circle is drawn in front of them. When they see this, they understand that the Labyrinth has now recognized that the cat is no longer the boss. Akira talks to Yuro, telling him that he wants to proceed, but he knows he is unable to move. Yuro tells him that the exit will not disappear until it is used, so he should let him rest a little and recover. Then he says that he knows monsters cannot enter the boss chamber before the automatic transfer is used. Amelia suggests that they sit until night so Yuro can rest. They agree to that, as it is a perfect opportunity to get to know each other. Then the scene shifts to Tsukasa and his friends, who have gone to a country called Yamato. Excitement shows on their faces because they did not know there was a country called Yamato on the continent, as it was founded by a former hero. Then they walk around the place and wear the official uniform of this country. Afterward, they sit down to eat. Tsukasa's friend speaks and tells him that he is happy to have accompanied him here, as he knows this inn has hot springs. Yuki interrupts them, telling them that she loves the Edo period atmosphere of this place and feels as if she might run into Sakamoto Ryoma or Kondo Isumi at any moment. Her friend Shiori asks her for some of the soup, and Yuki gives her some. Tsukasa asks them to talk seriously, telling them that first, their money is running out, so they must find work here. They can become adventurers, pretending they met on their way here, where they can get quests to execute after registering with the guild. The second thing is that they need information. They don't know anything about this world and must talk to many people and bring some books if they can. His friend interrupts him and asks if he thinks there is a book that explains how to return to their homeland. Tsukasa replies that perhaps he thinks the fastest way to return is to defeat the Demon Lord. Kyosuke is surprised by his words. Tsukasa tells them that the king and the princess summoned them, so there is no doubt that they know how to send them back, and if they become real heroes, they will be able to negotiate with them. Shiori tells him that their other classmates are still in the castle. Tsukasa replies that he knows that, but once they gather enough money and information, they will set off for the demon continent. Kyosuke interrupts him and tells him that they must first meet Akira, and if they stay in their place, they will definitely meet him when he comes here. He also adds that his intuition tells him that Akira is stronger than all of them, and it would be dangerous to face the Demon Lord without him. His friends agree with his opinion, except for one person, who suspects that Akira is the one who killed Commander Saran. Kyosuke replies that they discussed that topic before, as the curse was overwhelming their minds, but he will certainly cooperate with them. Yuki asks her friend Tsukasa if he agrees with Asahina, their friend, regarding Akira. Tsukasa thinks for a moment and tells them that Akira is strange to them, and he has no doubt that he is stronger than all of them, but he doesn't expect him to cooperate with them. Although they have been classmates since kindergarten, he still doesn't know him, and Akira still doesn't understand teamwork. Then he continues his speech and tells them that it seems the Holy Hero's sword is the only weapon capable of killing the Demon Lord, which means coordination will be the key to their success as a team. There is no reason for Akira to comply with that, given the huge power difference between them. They should only consider cooperating with him if they match his strength, so they can wait for Akira here, but as long as the monsters in the area are worthy of fighting, they should train against them until they become strong. Everyone agrees with his opinion. At night, we see Amelia running away from something. One of the men throws an arrow at her leg, so she falls to the ground and looks around but cannot see anything. After that, the princess and her men confront her and ask her how she is still alive. Then she cuts the rock she is standing on, causing her to fall to the ground. Amelia talks to herself, saying, "I was forced to flee my home. I was washed up on the riverbank where a dark slime swallowed me. When I regained consciousness, I found you in front of me, Akira." Then Akira talks to her, saying, "It seems you've had a difficult time." Then the cat speaks, saying, "But this is curious. A slime doesn't eat humans. What surprises me even more is your survival from digestion." Amelia then speaks, saying, "I'm grateful to that slime. I met Akira because of it." Akira tells her, "Enough with the jokes. You should go back to your homeland and sort things out." Amelia replies, "Impossible. I no longer have a home to return to." Akira asks her, "Talk to me. Your younger sister is the cause of the problem, right?" Amelia replies, "That's why it won't work." Akira then says, "I realize that when it concerns family, it makes it complicated, but listen to me. Family sorts things out." He tells her he has a younger sister too, and then he remembers a conversation with his sister where he was telling her, "Here you go, your screen has been broken for a long time." His sister asks him, "Is this why you were depriving yourself of sleep? I didn't ask you to work overtime to buy me this. It's bad." Then his mother enters and asks him what kind of awful brother makes his younger sister cry. She tells her daughter that Akira did this out of love for her. His sister replies, "I know, that's why it makes me angry. I'll overlook it this time." Akira says to her, "I think you mean thank you." He then returns to reality and talks to Amelia, saying, "In general, family members fight, but they remain family in the end." The cat then asks him, "Your family is in another world?" Amelia asks him, "Do you want to see them, Akira?" Akira answers her, "Yes, I wish I could return home immediately to see my mother and sister. But there's something I must do first. I wasn't a prominent person in my world. I didn't catch anyone's attention. It's logical that concealing my presence is one of my best abilities. Nevertheless, one man influenced me and taught me how to survive in this world. Those scoundrels killed him. He would have been alive if he hadn't gotten involved with me. I won't return home until I take revenge for Commander Saran." Amelia stops him. Then the cat speaks, asking, "Are you controlling your thirst for blood, my master?" Then he asks him, "Do you mean Saran Mithrai?" Amelia says, "I know his name too." The cat then says that he is famous among the knight commanders. He asks Akira, "Why did you do that, my master?" Akira replies, "I ruined the atmosphere, so I tried to lighten it up. I used to play this way with cats sometimes." The cat tells him, "I'm not a stray cat." Amelia asks him, "Do you want to try that, Akira?" The cat replies, "Not you two, Miss Amelia." Akira talks to the cat and says to him, "You are so soft. I wasn't joking when I said I love cats." Amelia tells him that she loves cats too. The cat tells them that they are taking the matter seriously and says, "If one of us dies," Akira asks, "The other will die because of our soul connection, right?" The cat replies, "Indeed. On the positive side, we can communicate telepathically no matter how far the distance between us." Akira tells him, "This is better than mobile phones. But I'm the one who entered into a contract with the cat. He is a pet." Amelia tells him that she means she will envy the cat, not him. The cat asks her, "Did you say something?" She tells him that she didn't say anything. Akira asks them to go to where this cat leads them. He replies that he doesn't know. In this era, few demons know how to create and operate magic circles. Akira then says, "After I achieve my revenge, I will visit their world and ask them to create a magic circle for me. While I am there, I will meet the demon lord and tell him that you have fulfilled your mission." Amelia then says, "I heard before that blue transfer circles take you wherever you wish. If several people use the same circle, it responds to one of their wishes." Akira tells her, "If your words are correct, we won't know our destination until we get there." Amelia tells him, "I don't care about the destination as long as I'm with you." Akira replies to her, "Because you won't go hungry with me." "Okay, let's go." At that moment, an idea occurs to him and he says, "If I wanted to return to those peaceful days," then he asks, "Will the transfer circle grant my wish?" But he immediately dismisses the idea. He didn't want that wish to be granted. Then they appear in front of a sacred tree. The cat tells them that they are in the forest continent, the land of the elves. They are surprised. Akira tells them that they have moved very far, but it's not the worst outcome. Someone attacks them with arrows. Akira protects them from his attacks and tells the attacker that he will cut off his head if he moves. This person tells them that he came to check on that mysterious glow and found the criminal who abandoned her country. "You are no longer a princess, you have no place among us. Run away as you did." Akira hits them and then says, "I hate loudmouths like him. No one asked you, you scoundrel." Amelia thanks him. Akira tells her, "No need to thank me, it seems it's too late. They have already surrounded us." Then Kilika arrives and says to Amelia, "I can't believe you dared to come back, but you will pay the price for the sin you committed against me this time, you child of ruin. Do you understand this, my older sister Amelia?" Akira then says, "This family dispute has crossed the line." And so, today's episode ends. If you liked the video, press like, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and activate the bell button to receive all new updates. While Amelia sees that her sister appears in the middle of the forest, claiming her to return and calling the traitor, promising that she will pay for her crime, and even tells her that she was no longer the princess because she is cursed. Surprising our protagonist because this family problem is much more serious than he imagined. Some time ago, Amelia went for a walk with her servants, who refused to leave her alone, reminding her that the king was not there and it was her responsibility to keep her safe. So Amelia watches as her sister runs through the forest, fighting against 3 swordsmen, although her agility and speed are admirable because she easily manages to overcome those 3 men and throw their swords at them thanks to her strength, something that Amelia praises. While Liam reminds them that Kilika is quite strong, but she is the one who would get the throne. A few days later, Liam, who is her fiancé, leans forward asking to break off the engagement, but she only asks him to talk to her father, and it is Kilika who approaches her, telling her that Liam does not want her because she was cursed. Something that hurts. But after a while, she was already in front of her sister and several soldiers of the kingdom, while they all unjustly accuse her of a crime and repudiate her, calling her a cursed princess. So she returns to reality and promises her sister that she would leave immediately. But Kilik tells him that won't be enough because he doesn't care if he begs, while Akira orders him not to talk like that. And when Kilika asks who he is, our protagonist confidently answers by telling her that he is a street killer who recently met her sister. But Kilik warns him that his sister is guilty of one of the greatest crimes, to harm royalty, as she shows her arm where a poisonous potion given to her by her sister took effect, causing everyone to continue speaking ill of Amelia. While Kilika approaches our protagonist, thanking him for everything he did since he brought the cursed princess, while Amelia tries to stop her from looking into his eyes. But Kilika regrets it because it is too late, since she had used her charm and now he was at her mercy, which fills Amelia with anger and demands that she must free him from that charm because she will not allow him to use him in that way, since Akira saved her and does not deserve this type of treatment. But while the two of them argue, our protagonist asks them to calm down because nothing happened to him, as he confesses that this ability only works with very low-level opponents, filling Kilika with impotence because she will not accept that she is stronger. And our protagonist just orders her to stop lying because he knows his sister well enough to know that she wouldn't hurt him. While Kilika, furious, seeing that our protagonist is of no use to her, orders the soldiers to execute him. And when Akira released his dark magic, it was the king who appeared, ordering everyone to calm down. While Kilika doesn't understand what she's doing there because she's supposed to take longer to return and the king tells her that he had to return urgently and needs to know what's going on. But the soldiers begin to accuse Amelia, and the king understands that she used her charm ability on them to control them, so he orders her to remove the effect immediately, and then he would speak to her sternly. While he goes with our proto, apologizing for what his daughter did, but assumes that she has nothing more to do for this territory and orders her to leave. Although Amelia explains to her father that Akira saved her, while the king reminds her that no one of another race is accepted in his territory. So Amelia says that she would then leave with Nestat Prota, and her father yells at her that she can't do it because her duty is to inherit the throne. While Akira responds, a little annoyed that he will not obey his orders. And besides, Amelia is free to do whatever she wants. He can even use force to allow her to have this freedom. And the king, seeing that Liam apologizes for being so weak, realizes that Akira is indeed quite strong, so he challenges him to a duel, where the loser would accept the winner's terms and also names Kilika as his representative. After a few minutes, they advance towards the sacred tree, and our protagonist asks Amelia why they call her the cursed princess. She says, the girl then explains that according to legend, when twin girls are born and one of them has different colored hair and eyes, it is an omen of a curse on that family. So they gave him that name because of his appearance. But our Pauta replies that it is just a superstition, and he also finds her eyes and hair quite beautiful. Once they arrive at the sacred tree, our protagonist prepares, and Amelia tells him that her sister is a very good Chinese swordsman since she saw her fight since she was little and knows her strength. But our protagonist promises that he will give her the freedom she so desires, while the king asks Kilika to demonstrate the kingdom's strength. But the girl gets upset when she sees that our protagonist doesn't draw his sword, and he tells her that he doesn't want to take her life, so they start fighting. Although our protagonist dodges all of her attacks, being amazed because she is quite strong, he does not attack her directly and only pushes her, annoying Kilika even more. While Akira warns her that she must retreat before he ends up hurting her, and she only attacks with magic, taking him by surprise. While Amelia explains to Knight that her sister is the only one capable of using granting magic. But our Sprout continues to dodge her attacks with agility and even tells her that the smile she tries to show hides her true tears, but he moves so fast that Kilika doesn't notice when he no longer protests his back and tells her that she must fix things with her sister, something that she denies again because she will never forgive who stole everything that belongs to her, and begins to attack with her magic totally out of control. So Akira orders Nike to protect Amelia, while Kilika screams that she will not forgive the divine girl who took everything from her, and her mind goes back to that moment where they were both happy and loved each other. But that same day, he heard his father talking to one of the servants, and learned that Amelia would be the legendary medium, so the world would be at her feet and the Elven Kingdom would be safe if she was the next queen. So his hatred grew, because from that moment on, no one paid attention to him and he continued attacking. But it is Liam who approaches with a branch from the sacred tree, asking her to save his sister, which Amelia accepts. And climbing onto Knight's back, she uses her power to purify the entire place, thanks to the essence of the branch of the sacred tree, surprising the elves when they wake up from Kilika's effect, who also notices how her power disappears, and Furiosa says that she will not allow herself to lose everything in her life, while Akira knows that if he dodges the attacks, many would be hit, and then activates his shadow magic, ordering it to devour that power, although the reaction his magic has is different from what he expects, and he ends up sending it all towards himself, surprising Knight by the result. And even our protagonist doesn't expect to gain so much power, but by launching himself at Kilika, he manages to defeat her and knock her to the ground. So she regrets being so weak, because even the charm on Liam disappeared very quickly, and he went back to Amelia. But the girl tells him it's not true because her charm never really worked on Liam, though Killik asks them not to feel sorry for her and to execute or exile her properly, while the king approaches, saying that it's all his fault because he tried to protect her, but only ended up hurting her more, and then unlocks a memory that had been suppressed. Well, several years ago, when she was younger, she ran into a labyrinth to be able to train more, although a stranger gave her a sphere, promising that with this, she would get enough monsters to level up. Although when she used it in the labyrinth, the monsters were much stronger and outclassed her, so she ended up fleeing the labyrinth. But she realized that those monsters were still following her, something that shouldn't happen, but she began to fight desperately so that no one in the village would die. Although after a few seconds, Liam with a group of soldiers approached, asking him to flee, although a goblin surprisingly hit Liam, taking his life before his eyes. This was something she couldn't bear, and the burden of guilt was fracturing her mind. So as king, he had to block those memories, and with Amelia's help, they used the power of the sacred tree and a ritual to bring Liam back to life, ensuring that she remained with them. And the reason many people left her side was because they didn't want her to discover that secret and end up more affected. For this, the king blames himself, since he had waited for the moment when she was mentally strong enough to tell him the truth. But in the end, everything got worse. Even Liam comes over apologizing that he tried to break them up so their hatred wouldn't grow, but only ended up helping create an unnecessary feud, and confesses his charm didn't work on her body, because when they were doing the ritual to revive him, a leaf from the sacred tree got in, so he's immune to all mind control effects. While Kilika cries, blaming herself because while she felt jealous of her sister, because she believed that everyone hated her, she was actually hurting the person who ended up fixing all the mess she caused, and she in turn turned everyone against her. But Amelia approaches her, telling her that that is not true, because since she was very little, she has seen how she tried to be strong, and it is something that everyone also noticed, so she should feel very proud of herself. And everyone approaches her to comfort her, managing to forgive the differences, and our protagonist is happy that everything ended in a very good way, because even Lion was able to confess his love. A few hours later, everyone is invited to a banquet by order of the king, who will keep his promise, since Kilika lost the duel and Amelia says she will go with Akira, who explains that they will first go to the Beastmen continent, because they need to get some good weapons. After a few hours, Amelia meets privately with our protagonist and asks him to call her in a more personal way, because he always calls her in a very formal way and is embarrassed when our protagonist calls her by her name, but she likes it and promises to accompany him for life, making even Nikki uncomfortable because they seem like two children in love. I'm so __ embarrassed about you, you're my friend __, but yeah. Meanwhile, Sato and his group head off to the Beastmen continent because they need to upgrade their weapons and level up even further, although they regret not having met Akira and Yamato. And this was today's summary. If you liked it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you very much for supporting this channel. The summary name will always be in the video description so you can go watch it. Don't forget to check out my social media. Don't forget that I upload summaries of each chapter every week, so subscribe, give it a like, and I'll see you in the next recap. But if it was not possible to make the contract but if it is not possible, but if not if one of the two dies, Ambrose will do it. Because if one of the two dies, both. In today's mind-blowing episode, the stakes are raised higher than ever when the Demon Lord snatches Akira's wife, setting the stage for a showdown that will shake you to your core. On top of that, we finally uncover the shocking truth of Yuro the cat's past, and just how cruel he was before he met Akira. Before we get into the action, show your support, hit that like button, subscribe so you don't miss a thing, and sound off in the comments with the country you're repping. Our episode today begins with Akira and Amelia as they prepare to leave. An elven girl says her goodbyes to Amelia, telling her, Come back whenever you wish. Meanwhile, Akira thanks the elf chief. Thank you for hosting us. We truly had a wonderful time with you. The elf chief replies. We understand Liam's true feelings. A very large procession will escort you to the port. Isn't that a bit much, sir? Akira asked. The situation is very serious, the chief explained. There have been kidnappings all along the coast recently. I've just returned from investigating the matter myself. Sir, Akira is very strong, so please don't worry, Amelia chimed in. The village leader replied, It's only natural for parents to worry. I would have accompanied you myself if circumstances allowed. A large group gathers and indeed goes with them to watch over and protect them. Later, Akira speaks to the cat Yuro. Why were you so quiet around the elf chief? Yuro explains, Only a few people accept demons and monsters. I would have caused trouble for you if I hadn't behaved. That's why I pretended to be a cute, harmless cat. Besides, the demon lord might get annoyed if I acted too well behaved. He's watching us closely. My eyes and ears are still connected to the demon lord, but he doesn't control my actions. I never intend to betray you, Master. You are Akira, the loyal and strong one. I'll tell you something, Master Akira, the cat continued. The demon lord wants to meet you. There's no doubt that what you did the other night greatly piqued his interest. He reminds him of what happened. No one can use shadow magic, let alone cover their entire body with it so powerfully. Akira explains that he only did it in a moment of panic, fearing that Klika would be devoured. As they're talking, something strange happens. Akira spots something hostile and stops the carriage at once. His instincts were right. They're confronted by bandits. Don't move or this blonde girl gets it. One of them yells. Another throws a rope at them. Tie each other up! As for the princess, bring her to us immediately. Looks like we've caught someone important. Graham-sama will be pleased when we present her to him. But Akira is faster than they can imagine, taking them all down in a single blow. Good thing they brought their own ropes, he says. Let's tie them up. They proceed to bind all the bandits. Akira questions them and learns that this Graham is a member of the royal family of Orok, the largest nation on the Beast continent. Finally, they reach the port and board a ship. Akira is focused on improving his skills, wanting to become strong enough to avenge Commander Saran, who was treacherously murdered. The cat, Yuro, tells him, well, you can raise your level at our destination. In any case, it will take a few days to get there. For now, all we can do is relax and enjoy the journey. The ship sets off into the open sea. This is my first time on a ship sailing on the ocean, Amelia says excitedly. It's so wonderful to be out on the high seas. I'm excited to watch the sunset over the water and see the stars at night with you. Akira. She looks over at him, only to find him completely absorbed in a book, paying her no attention. That night, the weather is beautiful with a bright, full moon. We see Akira is still reading his book, while his companion has finally fallen asleep. The next morning, they arrive at Prote, the Beast continent. They finally disembark at the port, where they see humans performing all the hard labor. As they walk, a group of thugs confronts them. Hey, stupid human boy, one sneers. Leave the elf girl and get lost. We're going to have our fun with her and then sell her. Akira approaches them calmly. I get it, he says. You look down on humans. I'll have to teach you a lesson. They all charge at him, but he easily strikes them all down. He could have crushed them completely, but didn't want to cause a scene. He continues on his way as everyone stares. One might think they fear him, but in reality, it's the black cats they fear and despise on this continent. Later, we see Akira and Amelia having dinner. Afterwards, as they're getting ready for bed, Yuro tells them he's going out to visit someone. The next morning, Yuro returns with another person in tow, a man named Kuro. Yuro introduces him as a blacksmith. Kuro speaks up, explaining, I was summoned by Nightmare Adalia. I had no choice but to come here. Amelia is astonished by his words. Yuro explains, I suggested we come to this continent because he is the best blacksmith in the world. Akira welcomes him and introduces himself and Amelia. Kuro gets straight to the point and asks to see their weapons. Akira summons his sword from its storage space. When Kuro looks at it, he immediately understands. You pushed this to its limit in the Great Canteen in Labyrinth, didn't you? Amelia is amazed. How did you know that? She asks. Can you fix it? Akira asks. Of course I can, Kuro replies. With the right budget and materials, you'll have whatever you need, Akira assures him. He then adds a request for about 20 thrown weapons for an assassin. Kuro realizes what this means. So you're an assassin, he says, looking at Akira critically. You may have the skill, but you lack experience. I doubt you have the ability to use the weapons I forged to their full potential. Amelia gets angry. You don't know anything about Akira, she snaps. Akira stops her. He's not wrong, he says calmly. Yuro interjects. Kuro is an expert in combat. He may be a blacksmith now, but he was once a member of the former Heroes Party. They are both shocked to learn this. Kuro then gives them a list of the materials he needs to repair Akira's sword and craft the new tools, along with an estimate of his fee. I'll hold on to the sword, he says, taking it. Let me know as soon as you have the materials and the money. After he leaves, Yuro tells them, he's difficult to deal with, but he's brilliant. There's no better blacksmith to entrust your weapons to. If you say so, I'll trust him, Akira says. Now, where do we find the money and materials he wants? You'll have to hunt monsters in the labyrinth, Yuro explains. It's your easiest option. Keep the materials on the list and sell the rest. You'll be able to level up at the same time, he adds. The Prote Labyrinth is right here in the city, but I believe you need a certain adventurer rank to enter. I can handle handle that, Akira says confidently. Amelia then speaks up. I need to go out for a while by myself. I need to talk to Kuro. Akira agrees and tells Yuro to go with her. What will you do? Yuro asks him. I'm going to do some research before heading to the Labyrinth, Akira replies. Contact me telepathically if anything happens. We then see Amelia as she finds Kuro. What do you want? He asks her gruffly. The previous hero's party failed to defeat the Demon Lord, Amelia begins. Only the hero and a Beastman survived. That's right, Kuro confirms. There was an elf with us too. She didn't make it, he sighs. Go ahead and blame me all you want. I abandoned my comrade. That's not what I mean, Amelia says, her voice firm. You two didn't survive just because you were strong. She looks him straight in the eye and makes her request. I want you to teach me how to fight. Amelia stands her ground. Please teach me how to fight. Kuro turns away. No, I'm not taking on another student. Never again. So you've had students before, she realizes, and none of them were ever serious, he scoffs. They either ran away or broke completely. I won't run, Amelia vows, her voice filled with conviction. And I will not break. So please, master, teach me. I want to stand by Akira's side in his battles, but the gap between our strength is just too wide. I can't let things stay this way. I have to get stronger. I have to get stronger. Kuro's gaze shifts to the cat. His voice is low and laced with a century of bitterness. Nightmare of Adalia. Yuro flinches. I'm only here to repair and forge weapons for my master. That's all. That is what we agreed upon, and that's all we've asked of you, Yuro says quickly. Miss Amelia is acting on her own accord, independent of my master and me. Now stop calling me by that name. You are the symbol of terror that scarred the soul of the Beastmen on this continent, Kuro says coldly. I will call you nothing else. Amelia is confused. She knew his name was once Black Hat before becoming Yuro, but Nightmare of Adalia? What did that mean? Yuro begins to tell the story, his voice heavy with regret. It happened about 100 years ago. Back then, Adalia was the most prosperous city in this nation. The Demon Lord sent me on a mission to put the city under surveillance, a response to their repeated invasions of demonic territory. All I had to do was deliver a warning to the city's leaders. But on that day, I allowed my demonic instincts to take over. I lost myself, consumed by the bloodlust and destruction. Even though it wasn't necessary, I wiped the entire city from the map. From that day forward, the Beastmen called me the Nightmare of Adalia, and black cats became a symbol of unimaginable horror. Narrator. Meanwhile, listening in telepathically, Akira hears the entire tragic story. I used to believe that there was no good reason for me to continue existing, Yuro continues, lost in the memory. The events of that day planted those seeds of self-loathing in my mind, but things are different now. As long as I serve my master, the past will not repeat itself. I have started a new life, one I know I don't deserve. My name is Yuro now, and as Akira's follower, I will never throw my life away again. Kuro's eyes narrow as a memory surfaces. Were you satisfied with what you did back then? It dawns on Yuro who he's talking to. You're the one who escaped with the hero. He lowers his head. If you want to kill me, then do it. But Kuro shakes his head. You were just a tool in the Demon Lord's hand. There's no point in blaming you. It would be like blaming the sword or the spear for the wound it inflicts. You didn't kill my sister. Neither did the Demon Lord. After you left, Kuro explains, his voice trembling with repressed fury. She was trying to help the others trapped beneath the rubble, but that man, he was in a hurry. Maybe he was afraid you'd come back. When my sister stood in his way, he cut her down. He murdered his own people to protect his interests without a second's hesitation. The man who killed my sister, my target for revenge, is Graham Cluster of the royal family. Narrator. Back in the present, Amelia looks at him with sorrowful eyes. Did you get your revenge? She asks softly. No, Kuro says, the fire in his eyes dimming to a smoldering ember. Not yet. My kind sister never would have approved of me walking such a dark path. I realized that before it was too late. Kuro glares at Amelia. I don't need your pity. It's been 100 years. Amelia's voice is sharp as she replies, I'm not pitying your sister. I'm pitying you. You're using her memory as an excuse for your own cowardice. What are you talking about? Kuro demands. You've twisted her memory, Amelia continues, convincing yourself you're honoring her. But the truth is you're just running from the world and from yourself. How would you know any of that? He scoffs. Because I was just like you, she confesses. I betrayed myself, telling myself it was all for my sister's sake. It was Akira who finally made me see I was wrong. Kuro's face hardens. Get out! The scene shifts to Akira, who's reading through some information. So, he thinks to himself, Yuro said you need a certain adventurer rank to get into the Labyrinth. What a pain. I'll just use presence concealment and sneak in. Suddenly, chaos erupts. The city is under attack! We see Amelia unleashing her power against monstrous foes. Yuro, get them to safety! She yells, holding back the tide. Then, a figure emerges from the smoke. I remember that magic. Hello, Elven Princess. Amelia's eyes widen in horror and recognition. You're the one who deceived my sister. The man gives a chilling smile. I haven't properly introduced myself. My name is Arum Triss. The Demon Lord has ordered me to keep you, and only you, alive. He looks her over. You possess a rare and powerful magic. For now, I need you to be a good girl. Just then, Akira appears, launching an attack on one of the beasts. Yuro, what happened? He shouts. Yuro looks devastated. Miss Amelia, she's been kidnapped. The demon who led this attack took her into the labyrinth. I'm going in, Akira declares without a moment's hesitation. He arrives inside the labyrinth to find a horde of monsters. Yuro appears beside him. I'm so sorry, Master, the cat says. This happened while she was under my watch. Apologies later. Akira cuts him off, his voice cold as steel. First, we eliminate them. Get back! A terrifying aura explodes from Akira. Activate shadow magic magic. Shadow hell! He roars. He tears through the monsters, a whirlwind of darkness and fury. As he fights, a realization dawns on him. This is the first time, he thinks, his mind ablaze, that I've ever been consumed by an emotion this intense. Back in my old world, I never would have felt anything like this. This rage, it's opened my eyes to a simple truth. There's someone else in this world, someone I value as much as my own family. The last monster falls, and the immense power drains from Akira. He stumbles to his knees, utterly spent, and whispers one name before collapsing, Amelia. And that's where today's episode ends, on a massive cliffhanger. If you love the action, smash that like button, and don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching. Our episode today begins with that terrifying power Akira uses. He was in great pain because he couldn't control its destructive force. Unfortunately, his strength gave out and he collapsed, unconscious. Yuro rushes over to check on him, knowing that healing him will require using the emergency reserve of magical energy. When that happens, the shadow magic will be stopped so the healing can complete. And just like that, he recovers, but he's still unconscious, so Yuro immediately takes him home. The scene then shifts to Kuro's place, as Yuro had carried the unconscious Akira to the house of Kuro, that very strong blacksmith. When he finally awakens, Akira asks the cat, "Hey Yuro, how long have I been out? Was it 5 or 6 hours?" Yuro tells him, "No, master, you were unconscious for a day and a half." "But that's not surprising. You completely drained your magical energy. Thank God you're still alive. You honestly could have lost your life. The shadow magic automatically activated and refilled your magical energy. This defies all logic. It's a miracle." Akira told him, "Cut the chatter, Yuro. We have more important things to deal with right now." The scene shifts again to Akira going to Kuro and thanking him for letting him sleep in his room. "I'm going to save Amelia," he says. Kuro tells him, "Wait, you idiot, do you even know where she is? It's been over a day and a half. They could be on their way to the demon world, or they might have already arrived." Akira gets furious, determined to save her no matter what, even if it means going to the demon world, the other realm. Kuro tells him to calm down, take things seriously, and get the right weapons, as the situation is extremely dangerous. Akira tells him, "Kuro, I don't own weapons like that, and unfortunately I have no money. I can't afford what I don't have." The other man tells him, "Take this weapon. It'll be useful, and I won't charge you for it. It's a short sword, but it's dangerous, and also easier to use." Then he gives him a ring. It's said to be made by the second or third hero. They say this ring helps its wearer find what they're looking for. But that's not true, my friends, it's just a rumor. Akira puts it on and sees that they are in the bored labyrinth, meaning they haven't reached the demon world yet. It seems they're still in the labyrinth. So, they take off at incredible speed. Yuro speaks to him, saying, "I'm with you, master, always. I'll follow you anywhere. We can't give up this time, not even if you die. We must complete the mission perfectly." And they took off like a rocket. This was just before sunset. Meanwhile, the scene shifts to Amelia. She's with the demon, who says to her, "Welcome to our labyrinth. We demons have a spell to control beasts. I've always wondered what would happen if I used it on beastkin, elves, or humans. I can't control you," he says, then pulls out a creature and adds, "But I can completely paralyze you." This creature wraps around her, and the demon begins to taunt her, telling her not to be in a hurry, as he'll be taking her to the Demon King to be sacrificed. He probably wants to do something very important, so don't be hasty. We're going to leave, but I can't use teleportation right now, so we'll just stay here until we figure out what to do. I know you're completely paralyzed and can't move. He tries to provoke her more and more. She was furious, but unfortunately she couldn't do a thing. He then tells Amelia not to worry. She's not going to die, because he has to deliver her to the Demon Lord unharmed, or else he'll be in big trouble. After that, we see Akira with the cat. Akira uses his ring, which shoots out a beam of light to find Amelia's location. When he points the beam where she is, it still points underground, confirming that she's not just in the labyrinth, but deep inside it. They decide to rush to catch up to her, but suddenly, a girl named Leah stops them. She asks if he is indeed Akira, saying she came to ask him for something. She knows him and wants him to take her into the labyrinth, where Lady Amelia is. Akira grabs her by the neck and starts to choke her, demanding to know how she knows where Amelia is. He tells her to answer carefully because her life is on the line. Leah explains that she used a scent tracking skill, but Lady Amelia's scent disappeared at the labyrinth's entrance. She also used it to find him on this path. The cat is impressed by this skill, noting that scent tracking is a common ability for beastkin. Leah then introduces herself, telling them she is the first princess of the Orc nation. She received information that the Demon Lord was targeting Princess Amelia. Akira asks why she didn't come to him immediately after hearing this. She replies that she thought he wouldn't believe her without proof, so she continued her investigation until things got out of control yesterday. She doesn't know what to do, but her hands are tied. As Akira looks at her closely, he realizes she's telling the truth. He then asks her what her spirit barrier ability does. Leah is shocked that he knows about it. She tells them that normal barriers can only be placed on fixed locations, but a spirit barrier can be used on moving objects as well. Akira asks if she can use it on people, and she says it would indeed be useful, but they can't have it because the Demon Lord is targeting Princess Amelia for the reincarnation magic she possesses. Akira hops on Yuro to head to the princess's location and tells Leah to come with him. The cat refuses, not trusting her at all. Akira tells him that her ability will help them protect Amelia and could be useful, as she said, telling him to calm down. Then we see Orumu thinking to himself. He says that Lord Zen wants the reincarnation magic, but he doesn't understand why, since demons are immortal and don't die easily. They are the strongest of all races. He knows it's a rare magic, but it doesn't work on someone who has been dead for a long time, and once used, it can't be used again for several days. Amelia overhears him talking about the magic and understands he knows a lot about it. Oromu confirms he does, then taunts her, saying she won't be able to reincarnate the Slayer after he meets his end at Oromu's hands. After all, she already took a fatal blow once and used her magic on herself. He can't wait to see how she'll wail after the Slayer's death. He then adds that he remembers her little sister crying so hard for her back then, so he expects an even better show from her. Back with the group, Akira is speeding along and asks Leah what she was doing in Ritus. She tells him her family was abducted by a dark slime and she was searching for them. She explains, "That monster, which is usually defeated in a single blow, devoured my father, my mother, my younger brother, and all the villagers. Someone was inside that slime and set it free in the wild. The royal family offered to adopt me to make use of my protection abilities. I became a princess shortly after and used my authority to investigate the incident, which led me to Rites. This didn't just happen to my family and village. A large number of beastkin, humans, and even elves, though fewer of them, disappeared. They were sacrificed in a summoning ritual. My family and my people were sacrificed to summon the hero. That's why I was there. I hold the king and the princess responsible too." Akira tells her that he was summoned to this world too, so I'm one of the people you hold a grudge against because I'm seeking revenge on them too. But as we're talking about it, I don't think we were summoned to stop the demons. Yuro the cat chimes in, "I'd pretend to believe that, but it's an obvious lie. The demons haven't tried to invade any country for the last century, at least. The other races just think of demons as abominable evil." They arrive at the entrance to the board labyrinth and go inside. Yuro says, "I believe the condition to activate the stairs leading down is to eliminate a certain number of monsters on each floor. It's a common rule in all labyrinths created by their maker, the first demon lord. There's no way to avoid it." Akira says they should use shadow magic to get the job done, but Yuro stops him. "You'll have to face a demon when we find her. You shouldn't exhaust yourself. I'll transform and take care of the pawns. I'll be faster than I am now, but I can't guarantee I'll be able to control myself in this form. I might lose my mind and hurt you both. I want to believe my instincts can no longer consume me." Akira reassures him, saying, "Like I told you, I'll keep an eye on you. As long as I'm with you, you'll be fine. You're our only hope." Yuro replies, "I will act on your behalf as your follower." And with that, Yuro transforms into a ferocious beast. They climb onto his back and he attacks and kills everything he comes across, moving faster and faster. Akira warns Leah to hold on tight or she'll fall to her death. Akira talks to Yuro, and Yuro finally responds, "I'd be grateful if you kept calling my name. I think I can maintain control if you do that." Then we see Yuro sprout wings, becoming even stronger. Akira says, "Why don't we continue our previous conversation? Why do people hate demons so much?" Yuro explains, "The first demon lord attacked the other races in revenge for them forcing the demons to live on the barren continent of Volcano. They still hold a grudge from that era. The demon lord is the source of all evil, and our hero is the one who will defeat him. But a great tragedy happened a few generations ago. The wife of the demon lord at that time was killed. But it wasn't the hero who killed her. It was the fool who wanted to gain fame. He killed the queen while she was sleeping. I've heard that demon lord was kind-hearted and loved his family and his people." Akira is surprised. Even though he was kind-hearted? And yet, the current demon lord ordered Amelia's kidnapping. "I'll make him pay dearly for that." "But you should know that not all demons are alike, of course," Yuro says. "Some are cruel and consider other races mere insects to be crushed. But there are others who avoid bloodshed and seek to keep the peace." At that moment, they arrive where Amelia is. Akira tries to save her and free her, but Oromu blocks his path. Akira immediately orders Leah to activate the barrier on Amelia to protect her. Oromu is surprised they arrive so quickly, realizing it's thanks to the demon lord's former right-hand man, the cat Yuro. Yuro apologizes to his master, Akira, saying he won't be able to move for a while. Amelia apologizes for getting them into this mess, but Akira dismisses it, telling her to do whatever she wants, as usual. "I won't let anyone take you. That's my final decision." Oromu mockingly praises Akira. "What an impressive declaration, Slayer Akira." He begins to summon his weapon. Yuro reminds him of the demon lord's instructions to lead Akira to his castle, but Oromu replies, "The only order I received was to bring the elf princess back alive. The Slayer is a problem, so I must kill him." He attacks Akira with a swift strike, but Akira easily parries it and launches a counterattack, landing a powerful stab that draws blood. However, Akira's strength is no match for Oromu's. The clash between Akira and Oromu reaches a fever pitch, but Oromu lands a devastating blow. Blood spatters across the ground as Akira staggers back, wounded. Oromu laughs, a chilling sound echoing in the cavern. "You're impressive for a human. I never expected you to hold out this long," but Akira isn't finished. He lunges forward, yet he's unable to parry the demon's relentless attacks. Leah cries out in disbelief, "How is this possible? I put a barrier around him." The cat explains the grim reality. The demon's spear is infused with magic so dense that without your barrier, a single scratch would have been fatal. Oromu taunts him. "It's incredible that you're still standing, but you haven't even landed a hit on me. It's time to end this." Akira retorts, "Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking." He unleashes his power, invoking his ultimate technique, shadow magic, activate. The cat watches in awe. "The shadows! They're converging on my master's spilled blood!" From the pools of darkness, terrifying shadow monsters claw their way into existence. They swarm Oromu, a relentless tide of claws and teeth. Overwhelmed by the assault, his sword is knocked from his grasp, clattering to the floor. "Amazing, Akira!" Leah shouts, stunned. The cat adds, "He's even stronger than a third-rank demon!" But the fight is far from over. Oromu pulls out a strange musical instrument. As a haunting melody fills the air, a new horde of monsters materializes before them. "Too bad for you," Oromu sneers. "We demons can command as many beasts as we please." Akira is horrified. And now, Oromu says, "Goodbye." Akira's trapped. "I can't reactivate shadow magic yet. How can I possibly defend myself? In a desperate final gambit, Leah unleashes her own power, screaming, "Reversed spirit barrier!" The monster's attack is repelled, but the strain is too much. Leah collapses, her energy completely spent, and the monsters fall with her. With the immediate threat gone, Amelia is finally able to move again. "I'm free," she says to Akira. "It's because you weakened him." Orumu shrugs. "Oh well, at least I had a little fun." Akira points his sword at the defeated demon. "It's over. Then stop wasting time and kill me," Orumu challenges him. "Demons never surrender. Hurry before I recover. Or can't you bring yourself to do it?" Akira tells him to be quiet, his mind racing. This demon, he thinks. He doesn't seem so different from a human. I can't bring myself to kill him. If Commander Saran were here, he would have told me this was okay. Suddenly, a new voice cuts through the tension, speaking to Orumu. "What are you doing? Don't tell me you were actually defeated by a mere human." Akira's resolve hardens. "I'll kill him if that's what it takes to get Amelia back. I thought I was ready for this." Stepping out from the shadows is a new figure, Mahoro. "You're late," Orumu says. Leah gasps in terror. "A second-rank demon." Mahoro smiles, his eyes locked on Akira. "I suppose he wasn't much of a match for you after all, was he, Akira?" Akira narrates his final thoughts for the episode. What was the right move? Back then, I just didn't know. And that's where today's episode ends. If you enjoyed this recap, smash that like button, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Our story today begins with a tremendous battle and intense excitement. Cries out to Akira, "Sir, be careful, you must not fight this man directly, he is too strong." Akira replies, "Yes, I feel an intense pressure. I must not act rashly." At that moment, the man with the glasses, who is perhaps a demon, removes the green demon from the fight, as he was utterly exhausted and incapable of continuing. He pulls him aside and says, "Get some rest." The spectacled man, Mahiro, then proceeds to penetrate the barrier. Not only that, but his abilities are unusually powerful. He uses his strength against Amelia, slamming her into the wall, but not killing her, only making her easy to carry away. Akira rushes to check on her, consumed by rage, though he clearly isn't strong enough to fight Mahiro. This man, or demon, named Mahiro, is likely of the first rank. Here, the excitement and drama truly begin. The cat, Yuro, who is previously unable to move, speaks. "Don't let him provoke you, Akira. You know very well, he is much stronger than you. He possesses tremendous, ghastly power that you will never defeat by merely rushing in. You must first prioritize getting Amelia out of here." But Mahiro is stronger and smarter than they anticipate. He uses barrier magic to prevent Akira from escaping, locking down all 4 exits. Akira thinks to himself, "What do I do now? I just used shadow magic, I can't fight at full strength. I am truly in a severe predicament. Concealing my presence probably won't work either, as he is first rank." Mahiro begins to introduce himself, claiming his circumstances are exactly like Akira's. But he lived in Japan before coming here. Akira is surprised, so he is human? But why is he on the side of the demons? Akira tries to think, but thinking won't help him now. Mahiro has decided to kill him and take the princess. Mahiro uses his power on Akira, but Akira dodges in the nick of time, then leaps at him like a lion. Mahiro uses a very strong barrier and unleashes energy toward Akira. Akira decides to use shadow magic again, but tragically, he cannot. He had already expended all his energy earlier. Mahiro wanted to see Akira's full power, but he needs to leave quickly so as not to be late for the Demon Lord. Just as Mahiro is about to finish off Akira, Yuro stands up, revived. The rest has allowed him to recover some of his magical energy. He introduces himself to Mahiro, revealing he was once on the Demon Lord's side but recently separated from him. Yuro then speaks to Akira telepathically. "Sir, listen closely. I want to cancel our contract now." Akira is stunned. "What are you saying? How can you do that?" Yuro replies, "Listen to me. It can be done at any moment, with the consent of both parties, and it is the only way to kill this man. I must sacrifice myself. You must not die here, and I will not allow it." Akira refuses the offer, which surprises Yuro. Mahiro, realizing they are communicating in secret, mockingly says, "What? Are you talking in secret? Fine, this will be your last conversation. I will wait until you finish." Akira continues telepathically. "I didn't think I had a chance, but we can probably beat him together. I entrust my life to you, so entrust your life to me." Here comes the biggest surprise. The cat transforms into Saran, Akira's friend and captain, who was killed 3 months ago by betrayal. Saran tells Akira he cannot maintain this form for long, so they must finish this quickly. Akira understands he must rush to defeat Mahiro. Saran then uses his power to summon his special hammer, which can destroy anything with force. He summons a gigantic hammer to strike Mahiro. Mahiro uses his own power to extend a shadow light spell. Akira becomes very anxious, fearing they won't succeed. Saran speeds up and smashes the spell, utterly destroying it. Mahiro then uses a Storm Ruler spell and launches it at them. Akira and Saran run to save themselves. Mahiro tries to strike Akira, but Akira uses a Shadow Cloak spell, allowing him to disappear right in front of Mahiro. Akira strikes Mahiro's spell with his sword, destroying it, then tries to strike Mahiro but fails. Suddenly, Saran appears behind Mahiro and attacks, but it is useless. Mahiro uses a protective spell that shields him from their strikes. Akira and Saran rush him together. Akira sadly thinks to himself, if Captain Saran were still alive, perhaps we would have fought like this together. He apologizes to Nate, acknowledging how exciting this battle is. The cat speaks to Akira, warning him he will return to his true form soon. Akira replies that it's no problem. He will end this with his next move. Mahiro scoffs at them, saying they are wrong if they think they have cornered him. Suddenly, he summons Amelia, who strikes Akira in the back with her hand, piercing him. Akira falls to the ground. Amelia is in complete shock, realizing she wasn't in control when she did that. She screams, apologizing to Akira. Akira asks her not to worry. It wasn't her fault. Yuro realizes at that moment that this is the same spell Mahiro used at the beginning. Mahiro speaks sarcastically. The puppet can extract 100% of the target's full energy and enhance their stats. Akira is terrified. He doesn't want to die now and won't allow Mahiro to take Amelia. Amelia cries beside him as he is dying. During his final moments, Akira mutters that he didn't want to die yet. He hasn't avenged Captain Saran, and he needs to go home. Suddenly, someone uses a healing spell to treat Akira. When Mahiro sees this, he tries to strike with his spells, but he can't, as Akira is surrounded by a protective barrier until he fully recovers. Mahiro uses his power on Akira again, but it has no effect because of the healing barrier. Suddenly, Akira stands up, astonishing Amelia and Yuro. It is clear someone is controlling Akira and moving him. The helper says, "Target the demon, activate combat mode." They clash, and Akira is incredibly strong. They use their powers against each other. Akira uses Shadowbind and chains Mahiro, but Mahiro suspects someone is controlling him. The helper talks to Mahiro, demanding he cancel the spell he cast on Amelia and immediately retreat. Mahiro refuses. "I will never yield to you humans or demons. This is the natural order of things." Akira's helper replies, "Do not make assumptions. Efforts are not always rewarded. The world is not that simple, but it is wrong to give up before trying." Mahiro grows angry and uses his power on Amelia to kill her. Akira rushes to shield her and take the blow himself, but Kuro arrives and cancels the spell. Everyone is astonished by his presence. Mahiro says, "I thought the beast race only lived a century more than humans. Why haven't you died and been buried yet? You canceled all my magic in the blink of an eye." Kuro replies, "My powers are not at their peak, but rest assured, I haven't lost all my skill." Mahiro becomes afraid and says, "I will let you all escape today." Kuro replies, "And you too, likewise. I will allow you to use that transition circle." Afterward, Leah speaks to Kuro, saying, "I didn't think you would come to us." Kuro replies that it happened without planning and asks Akira to rest. Akira then loses consciousness. In the evening, Akira wakes up and asks how long he was unconscious. Amelia tells him 3 days and 5 hours. Kuro enters, and Akira thanks him for saving their lives. Kuro reassures them that Leah is fine and has been sent to the royal palace. Akira's former companions enter, and he is overjoyed to see them. They tell him they haven't seen him in a long time. They are the hero squad, steadily raising their levels, and came to meet Kuro to request suitable weapons. Akira says, "You also left the palace, Kyosuke?" Kyosuke explains that Giles took control and made him break the curse on everyone here. Giles apologizes for his mistake, saying he was under the influence of the curse and regrets not being able to defend Akira. Akira finally reassures him, saying he knows everything about the curse and knows Giles didn't mean to do any of that. Everyone thanks Akira for managing to break the curse on Giles. Kyosuke says, "I'm very upset that you left alone. You should have spoken to me after I recovered my senses." Akira replies, "The situation didn't allow it, but as expected of the hero, you certainly possess leadership skills." Akira asks Giles why he left the palace. Giles says, "I am no longer a knight. I was expelled. It seems the king considers our order a nuisance." Kyosuke says he has been waiting for the day they would meet, and asks permission to travel with Akira from now on. But Yuro speaks with great arrogance. "I am the only partner my master needs. He wants no one but me." Kyosuke gets angry, pointing out he's talking to Akira, not the cat, and demands Yuro be silent. The cat also becomes angry at this talk. Akira asks them to calm down and welcomes everyone in the hero squad, genuinely pleased to see them doing well. He asks, "But what is your plan from now on?" Tsukasa says, "We want to defeat the Demon Lord." Yuro scoffs at their words, finding the idea of defeating the powerful Demon Lord ridiculous. Everyone gets angry at Yuro for belittling them. Akira asks Yuro to leave them alone for a while. Akira asks them, "Why do you want to defeat the Demon Lord? Do you want to become legends here or something?" Tsukasa replies, "No. I thought this would compel the king and Rades to negotiate. We would then demand he send our class back to our world. Since they summoned us here, there is no doubt they know a way to return us. Will you help us? Although I hate to admit it, you are much stronger than us." Kyosuke asks permission to fight alongside him, please. Akira explains. "There are several problems with that. First, I don't think there is any room for agreement with Rades because they use curses to control others. They went so far as to kill Captain Saran, and many were lost as part of the summoning ritual. I will tell you eventually. Overall, I oppose relying on those scoundrels. I truly want to return home, just like you. However, second-rank demons can create transit circles, and I believe they can create a circle leading to our world. At some point, I will go to the demon lands to beat up a demon I know, but I need to accomplish something first." Kyosuke asks if he can help with that matter, but Akira doesn't want anything from anyone. He relies on himself. He tells them, "Even if I were to join you after finishing that matter, I don't have time to socialize with anyone. I only make decisions that increase my chances of returning home. Think carefully about what you want to do." Tsukasa says, "But I think our chances of returning home would be better if we worked with him." Yuki asks, "What's the harm in Oda compromising a little for us?" Their friend replies, "You know his nature. He generally won't accompany us unless we prove our worth to him. This will be difficult." The scene then shifts to Akira calling out to Amelia. Amelia says, "We will have to accompany each other someday. I thought I was okay with that, but I'm afraid of it happening now." "Listen, Akira, I need to apologize to you. When my hand pierced your body," Akira replies, "You weren't the one who did that." Amelia tells him, "It almost drove me insane that I hurt you so badly. In the end, it makes me happy. You will forget about me after you return home, so I'm glad that the scar I caused will at least remain. It's terrible to be happy about something like this." Akira replies, I'm not the type to find the right words to cleverly ease pain, but I consider you, Amelia interrupts. Important to you? I hope so, but I don't know. Even the eyes of the world cannot see what is in someone's heart, and people change their minds in the blink of an eye. Akira tells her, I don't know what I truly want, and I can't predict the future, but nevertheless, he then draws his sword and tells her, in my world, couples who vow to stay together forever usually place a ring on the third finger of each other's left hands. He then cuts his own finger and says, I love you, Amelia. If that makes you happy, I will gladly bear a scar on my body. Amelia cries, embraces him, and tells him that she also loves him more than he can imagine. Akira then asks Amelia to tell him all her wishes, saying, I will grant you everything I can. Amelia replies, promise me you won't die, don't forget me, don't leave me, don't look at anyone else. Akira replies, I heard your wishes clearly, I swear to fulfill them. And with that, today's episode comes to an end. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell so you catch all our new content. Our episode begins with Akira talking to his friends, and they ask him, can we help? He tells them that he doesn't want help from anyone. One of them says, he might accept our help if we prove our worth. Then another person speaks up and says, a festival is currently being held in a nearby town, and there's also a beauty pageant in the area, but the winner disappears every year. We don't know what that means. Rumors say that they are sold or being sold on the black market. Several adventurers said the same thing, so I think the information is correct. If we manage to catch the person responsible for that, we will have proven our worth to Akira, and he won't consider us a burden, at least. The scene then shifts to the girl named Lati, who tells them, let's go, as we see the entire group heading to the festival. We also see Akira and his group in the same crowd. We don't know what is behind that competition. The crowd was huge when they arrived at the town, but perhaps the prize will be a meal, as this city has a lot of monsters, so they hunt the monsters, chop them into meat, and then freeze them in the refrigerator. After that, they arrive at the location and find the girl named Alec, who says, it's unfair that you won't accept me, all because I am a demon. At that moment, we see Akira, and he is surprised, thinking to himself, is she really a demon? No overwhelming power or anything like that is emanating from her. Then Amelia enters, very angry, and says to Akira, are you flirting with another girl, you idiot? Lati gets angry and says to her, I wasn't flirting with anyone and I won't look at him. I don't look at humans, you clumsy fool. Amelia told him that the problem wasn't with her, but with them flirting with other girls. Akira replied that he didn't do that and told her to let her, Alec, participate, stating he would stop her if she made any suspicious move. When Latino sees the cat Yuro, she greets him and calls him by the name Black Cat. Yuro also greets her and tells her he hasn't seen her for a long time and that his name is now Yuro. Latino realizes that he has formed a contract, which surprises Akira. They know each other? Yuro explains that they are both demons. Yuro tells him he will explain later, as they now have some time before the competition begins. Latinel suggests they check out the festival and everyone agrees. She takes them to the festival and while there, she talks to everyone, telling them her name and that she will be participating in the beauty pageant. She asks them all to vote for her, saying she is counting on them. She then signs her name on their clothes, which pleases everyone, and they form a line for her to sign their clothes. Akira is surprised by her behavior. The cat tells him that she is unique but has never been evil. After that, two girls look at Akira, becoming very afraid of him because he is known as the silent killer. They run away when he looks at them. Akira realizes they were talking about him. Kuro tells him that he is famous. When he killed those monsters with his dark magic and restored peace to his aunt's town, which had descended into chaos, it caused many eyes to watch him. He went a little too far for a mage, and that makes him interesting. Kuro then tells him that those who witnessed him refer to him as the silent killer, and this is widespread throughout the town. Akira doesn't know why all this is happening. Kuro replies that he carries something precious from the Adventurers Guild. Considering his achievements, he was promoted to the yellow rank as a special reward. Amelia interrupts and tells Akira that this is very good, noting that she has a double identity and holds the silver rank, which is higher than the yellow rank. She then tells him that Klaika obtained the gold rank, which has only been achieved by 3 people in the world, making her very strong in Akira's opinion. Skasa tells him that they all hold the yellow rank, and he shouldn't hesitate to consult them if he wants to know a way to earn his daily living as an adventurer. After that, Amelia and her female friends go off to eat food. Akira asks Yuro to accompany Amelia and get rid of anyone who tries to get close to her. Akira then wonders about the friendship between Amelia and Latinel. Kuro replies that the journey here took 2 days. Akira asks him why he accompanied them, as he doesn't seem like the type who cares about celebrations. Kuro replies that he had a younger sister, and his desire to fulfill her wishes was the only reason that prevented him from achieving his revenge. But he has grown old. Akira tells him that he doesn't show his age. Kuro explains that the aging of monsters isn't apparent, but he has lost a lot of his power. The man who killed his sister is constantly guarded by powerful mercenaries, and it won't be easy to kill him. This is what awaits them in the Confrontation with Graham cluster. Akira is shocked when he hears that name because he is a member of the royal family in Orok, the largest country on the continent of monsters. Kuro asks him why he thinks Princess Amelia was targeted immediately upon their entry into the country. Akira replies that Graham sold information to the demons, and that he has the power and authority to check travel lists whenever he wants. Kuro confirms his words, as he confirmed the matter while he was unconscious. He then tells him that he must know that he created Leah's scepter. Akira didn't understand the connection this had to their conversation. Kuro says that the magical crystal of Leah's scepter reacted with the crystal he possesses, and that's how he knew they were in danger. Akira thanks him for saving their lives, but doesn't know why he is talking about this now. Kuro replies that he did it because he accompanied them specifically to talk about this. He saved him so that Akira would be indebted to him. He then told him that he has a mission for the killer Akira, and mumbled some words. After that, Jiros interrupts and tells them that they should book an inn as soon as possible. Kuro replies that he should go there. Upon arriving at the location of the beauty pageant, he tells them his name. Kuro says, "That provides you with comfortable seats to watch the show. My circle of acquaintances is very wide." Akira realizes that everyone is indebted to Kuro. Kuro tells him, "That's what happens when you live a long life like me." The scene then shifts to the beauty pageant. The contestants showcase their beauty and everyone is impressed by them. They truly are beautiful girls. Akira and his friends watch the competition from this elevated location in the front rows, acknowledging Kuro for securing this wonderful spot high up. It is now the turn of the next contestant, Amelia. Akira watches her and is greatly impressed. She is very captivating and beautiful, and puts on an unmatched performance. After that, it is the turn of the final contestant, Lati. She places a crystal piece on the floor, which surprises everyone. She then stands in the middle of the stage. At this moment, the crystals she placed light up, creating a wonderful sight. She removes her cloak, introduces herself, and asks everyone to vote for her. Everyone cheers and admires her. Akira is surprised and can't believe that she is really a demon. Yuro tells him that she is indeed a demon, even though it's hard to believe. The competition has now ended, and it is time for the results. The winners of the Ladies' Beauty Pageant are the contestants Amelia and Lati, who are tied. This is the first tie in history. The scene then transitions to Akira and his friends. Lati says, "I perfected the preparation and the special effects, yet I tied with the elf princess." Akira tells her, "You tied with Amelia. You should be proud of yourself." Lati is very happy. She doesn't mean to boast, but she is indeed popular among boys. Akira says, "My eyes only see Amelia," which makes Amelia very happy. Lati tells them, "I will win next time. I will participate in next year's beauty pageant too." Yuro tells her, "Your father will be very angry if you attract too much attention." She tells him that they had a fight and she ran away from home. Akira learns from Yuro that this girl Lati is the daughter of the demon lord. Everyone is shocked by this. The scene then moves to the soldiers surrounding Graham, who ask him, "What are your orders?" Graham tells them, "I don't need your services, but I ask your men to continue monitoring them. I can seize what the demons fail to take and offer it. I smell a profitable deal." We return once again to Akira, who is viewing the demonic ratings of Lati. He finds that she is a water and fire mage, and her stats are insane. Amelia admits that she knew she was extremely powerful from the start. "I use the Eye of the World without telling you, Akira. Some people hide their strengths. This is called suppressing magical energy, but I can sense that too." Kuro then informs them that they have arranged the accommodation. Lati says, "I can't camp just anywhere. My presence might not bother you, but it will probably disturb the sleep of the rest of the humans. I'll see you tomorrow when we receive our prizes." She says goodbye and then asks for Akira's name. Latisnell spoke to Akira, saying she didn't know his name. Akira introduced himself. Latisnell said, "Akira, I'll remember that, brother." Akira thought to himself, "He's still calling me that." Then Akira asked them, "Why do you have to go to collect your prizes tomorrow?" Tsukasa replied, "They weren't ready on time." Akira asked, "How do you know that?" Tsukasa told him he participated in the men's competition and won. Akira said, "I see," and thought to himself, "He says this so casually." Then Amelia asked him, "Is the prize food too?" He replied that if it was food, she could have it. Hayosuke spoke up, saying, "I don't see Yoro around." Akira told him, "Yes, I sent him on a mission." Kuro spoke to Akira, saying, "I hope you haven't forgotten what we talked about." Akira replied, "I haven't forgotten. I'll think about it." Then Amelia told Akira, "Forget about the bath. You're tired. You haven't had enough sleep for the past 2 days." As they went to the room, Akira told her, "But I was unconscious for 3 whole days before that, and I've always been a light sleeper." Then Amelia said, "Excuse me, but I'm ready to use force to save you from yourself." Then Amelia used her magic, casting the compulsory sleep spell, and Akira fell asleep. Then Amelia went to Kuro. Kuro said to her, "Remind me never to anger you." Amelia asked him, "What did you and Akira talk about?" He informed her that he offered him a mission. Amelia replied, "I won't let you force him to do something he doesn't want to do." Kuro told her that he heard he couldn't kill a demon. Amelia is surprised and tells him to think what he wants, but not to dare interfere with Akira's way of life. He informs her that he has no intention of doing that and has not forced him to do anything. The decision is his, just as he is risking himself for her. The next morning, we see Amelia and Latisnell talking about Akira. He is sleeping, exhausted, and they will go alone to receive the prizes. Sato informs them that the kidnappers will target the prize delivery location, and it's a good thing. Akira won't be with them, as that would make them miss their chance. They then arrive at the abandoned mansion, which is the location sent to them for prize delivery. It appears to be a trap. The villains appear, and one of them tells Amelia to come with them because Graham-sama wants to meet her, as he is the leader of the kidnappers. Amelia refuses to go to him and uses her magic, throwing magical orbs at them. She approaches them and asks them what Graham wants from her. The villain then tells her that the captured winners had their organs extracted and sold. After the rumor spread, Graham disposed of them with his money. He does this every year. Amelia says to him, "So he intends to sell me then? No one becomes a member of the royal family without staining their hands a little. Think this over carefully as you meet your end." Suddenly, Latisnell stops her and tells her not to kill them. "They attacked me first, and fighting is not killing. I believe everyone has their own story, even the villains, and no one has the right to end it. Therefore, I will not allow you to kill them in front of me." Then, we see Akira waking up from his sleep. Thus ends our episode today. To know the rest of the events, please subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell to receive all new updates. Our episode begins with Akira asking Giles about Kuro. Giles tells him that in the past, Kuro used to take on apprentices, and Akira's mother was actually one of them. However, she couldn't handle the training and suffered a nervous breakdown. Since Akira's father had left a while back, Kuro took full responsibility for raising him. He's known him for a long time, he's like a father to him, and Akira owes him a lot. He doesn't hold Kuro responsible for what happened to his mother. Kuro is a good person who helps everyone. Just then, the cat appears next to Akira and reports that she finished her investigation. She discovered that the people who placed those devices were followers of Graham Cluster, a member of the royal family. Their goal was to monitor and track the beauty pageant winners, specifically Miss Amelia. Giles asks if these are the same devices he saw at the Wright's palace. Akira confirms that yes, they record visuals. The cat explains that in this world, they call them cameras. One of the heroes summoned in the past brought the concept with him, and they reproduced it here, using magic, keeping the same name. Then Amelia and the others arrive, and Akira orders them into the back room to discuss the plan. Akira asks, did you invite yourselves here knowing that humans are shunned behind the scenes of the festival? He had asked Yuro to investigate, and Yuro found them out. He apologizes for hiding it from Akira, but explains they wanted to show they aren't burdens. Akira tells them he'll join them since their final destination is the same anyway, but he has to ensure Graham doesn't target Amelia again. Their next stop is the capital, Orok. Graham runs the Adventurers Guild there, and Akira intended to handle this alone. However, Kuro insists on coming along to guide him through the demon world, noting it would be useful to have someone who knows the terrain. Kyosuke suggests heading to the demon world border with his hero team. He opens a map so they can pick a rendezvous point. After choosing the location, everyone heads out to perform their tasks. Later, we see Kuro outside with Amelia. He asks if she's done buying supplies. She says she's finished shopping, but Akira is still checking out the bookstore. Kuro remarks that the trip will take 5 days by carriage, so it's good for Akira to have a way to pass the time. Amelia says she doesn't want to cause Akira any more stress and asks Kuro to take her on as an apprentice. Kuro refuses. Amelia insists that she is a target and doesn't want Akira to ever have to compromise his principles for her sake. She wants to become strong enough to defend herself and vows that she will never break. Giles then speaks up. That's right. Akira, you forgot something. This pouch. Maybe it's money or something similar. Before I smuggled you out of the royal palace and rights, I went to the commander's room and took what was left for you, but you forgot this. I don't know what's inside. He opens it and gives it to him. Do you guys know what was in it? Write it in the comments. Then they all say their goodbyes, telling Akira, we'll do our best to get closer to your level before we meet again. Akira then departs. In the evening, we see them still on the road. Amelia can't take it anymore and wants to sleep, so they tell her to get some rest. She's exhausted from all the training. The teacher, Kuro, talks to Akira, saying he sees potential in her. He had heard of an Elven princess in the past who crafted spells, hunted monsters, and healed the wounded in a way that was simple, yet sophisticated. Her name stuck in his mind. Years later, when asked to name a child born in his village, he used part of her name, Amelia. Akira asks, if you look up to her, why do you treat her so coldly? Kuro replies that she didn't seem as impressive in person as he imagined, but ultimately, she is very capable of training. He explains that the legendary hero possessed a technique called the reflection process, an extra skill that allowed the user to copy any spell they saw. Akira is surprised because that's an insane technique. The difficulty of learning it is also insane. Mastering the ancient language is necessary, and it is highly complex. Every letter is imbued with enough energy to drive someone toward madness. If you delve too deep, you'll lose your mind and stop thinking altogether. Amelia faced this by crafting a new spell that only she can use. Kuro then tells him about the beast race, noting that they live twice as long as humans. However, regarding his mother, something strange happened. She drank a weird potion while pregnant with him, so he has lived double that normal span. Akira says, I don't understand a thing, and honestly, neither do we. The scene shifts to Yuro the cat on his espionage mission. He goes to the guild to spy. At that moment, he sees Lati sitting on top of a tower. Surprised, she comes over and welcomes him. He asks, what brought you here? Didn't you say you were going on a solo trip? She says yes, but she hadn't picked a destination yet. Tell me, why are you alone? Where are my brother and the princess? Yuro tells her he is on an independent recon mission by Akira's order. Lati gets super happy, picks him up, and begs to let her explore with him. Meanwhile, Akira and his group arrive at their destination. It is indeed the city of Orok, a magnificent city, though they know nothing about it. Kuro says he contacted Leah to arrive within an hour. We'll meet at the central fountain over there. Go there at sunset and I'll send someone from the inn. Kuro leaves, letting Akira and Amelia talk. They decide to take the scenic route, a quiet stroll through the city, basically a nice date, and head to a restaurant. While wandering the market, Amelia craves something delicious. Akira agrees, telling her she should celebrate after studying the ancient language daily. Amelia gets excited because she's never celebrated like this before. Usually, the royal family celebrates the people, not themselves. Akira realizes this is her first time hanging out with him like this. She wants to go on dates and celebrate every day. She tells him not to worry, that everything will be fine, and she'll become so strong that he won't have to lift a finger. Akira asks her not to push herself too hard, but she's ready to endure anything for him. He then tells her she overate. Suddenly, Leah arrives. She says she hasn't seen them in a while. Amelia welcomes her. Leah says she's been waiting eagerly to meet them again and asks to show them around. She takes them to the water to see the boats, explaining that Orok is the city of water, and it's said you can't explore half of it without a boat. They hop in. While touring, Akira and Amelia enjoy it immensely. Seeing the city, Akira realizes it looks a lot like Venice. He sees a castle and asks Leah about it. She says it houses the royal palace of Baladim. She mentions her family is excited to meet them, as her father, King Agsum, is hosting a lunch to welcome Princess Amelia. Akira thanks her for saving them last time. She replies there's no need for thanks, she's just happy she could help. He asks about her spell, the Reverse Spiritual Barrier. Is it an application of Kuro's reflection? Leah says there's a resemblance, but they are different. Her ability is an extension of barrier techniques, and strong magic can penetrate it. However, Kuro's reflection reacts upon sight and is impenetrable, though she did base hers on his. Akira is astonished. He mentions Amelia is learning it too. Leah is shocked because it's extremely difficult. Akira is surprised by her reaction. He was hoping for a simple hint. Leah asks in shock, is Kuro passing down reflection to her? Akira replies, is something wrong? Leah says that, generally speaking, Kuro was much more impressive back then. She had never seen or heard anything like shadow magic before. Akira replies that it wasn't exactly him, it was something totally out of his control that he can't use recklessly. Leah then takes them to the castle for lunch. Finally, they reach King Agsam, who is honored by their arrival. We will serve food, but let's talk first. I thank you for helping my daughter, whether adopted or not. Amelia speaks up. I got into trouble because I was kidnapped. Akira and Kuro are the ones who helped. The king says, I will thank Kuro as well, but there is another matter of equal importance. I have a request for you, the one who came to this world during the hero summoning. Will you accept? Akira says, depends on the request. A young man, the captain, gets angry at Akira for disrespecting the king. The king continues, it concerns the assassination of a target. In return, I will ensure your safety in this country, and you will be rewarded generously. All I ask is for you to get rid of that vile Graham. When the king learns Akira knows Graham, he says, that simplifies things. I demoted him from minister to guild leader to keep him away from public affairs, but he hired mercenaries and is wreaking havoc in my kingdom. If we don't stop him, he will ruin the throne's reputation. I want your help. Akira refuses. That's your problem, I have nothing to do with it. The king gets angry. I heard you came from a peaceful land, shouldn't safety be your priority? Akira replies, I can protect myself just fine. Also, I don't need protection from those weaker than me. The captain snaps. It doesn't matter if they call you the silent assassin or the slayer of 100 monsters, the praise has made you delusional. Amelia gets furious. How dare you insult Akira and imply he's a liar? She tries to use magic, but Akira stops her. I can prove I'm neither delusional nor a liar. My sword will do the talking. The young man is furious and asks the king for a duel. The king agrees, it's been a while since I've seen what the captain of my guards can do. They get ready outside. Akira tosses his sword to Amelia, stating he will fight unarmed. The captain scoffs. He used my tools. As a skilled assassin, the duel begins. The captain rushes in with a powerful attack. He has speed and strength, but he misses. Akira lands a heavy blow and binds his legs. The captain gets angry, grabs Akira and attacks. But Akira jumps high at the perfect moment and lands a crushing blow to end the fight. The fighter's hammer shatters, and Akira holds a knife to his neck. The king and everyone else are shocked by Akira's strength. Amelia tells the king not to dictate anything to Akira again. The king is annoyed by her behavior. An elf princess falling for a human. This is a dirty way to play. You realize you will live much longer than him. The king leaves and orders the soldiers to guide them to the pier. Amelia is upset by the king's words. Later, on the boat, Akira notices she's down. She changes the subject and praises him, saying he was amazing today. Akira is happy that they don't think you're hanging out with a liar. Amelia says, I am very happy with your company, and thank you for letting me discover the world. But Akira thanks her for choosing to travel with him and leaving her family. Amelia is overjoyed because he always chooses the words she wants to hear. He cries, hugs him, and tells him, if you die, I will die with you. The scene shifts to Akira entering a luxury hotel. Kuro is waiting and tells him the owner owes him a lot, so don't worry about the cost. Amelia enters, thrilled with the place. Akira takes out a book to read. Kuro is pleased. It reminds him of a friend who also loved knowledge and reading. He was known as the Sage, skilled in magic and swordsmanship. His pen was his sword. His name was Saran Mithra. Akira is shocked. He knew him well. He was the commander of knights in Guile's homeland until his master killed him. Akira says, I owe this man a lot, and I will avenge him one day. I believe the killers were the king's personal assassins, the Ravens. Kuro reveals that the king hired that gang from Graham. Akira is stunned. Graham is the reason for the death of his friend and mentor. And that wraps up our episode for today. Wait for the next episode with some very exciting events as Akira uncovers more. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell button to get all the latest updates. Our episode begins with Akira speaking to his friend, stating that the king's personal assassins belong to the Night Crows squad. Kuro confirms this, explaining that the king hired that specific squad through Graham. Akira is shocked and remarks, so Saran would still be alive if it weren't for Graham, that foolish idiot? This means I am targeting the very same person that many have asked me to kill. Kuro then recalls what he told him earlier. The target is his sister's killer, a man named Graham Cluster. Amelia agrees that this lowlife must be killed, as he has spread corruption across the land, destroying countless people and families, like a beast with no pity or mercy for anyone. Now, Kuro offers Akira a deal. He will guide him through the demon world if he fulfills the request to kill Graham. I am also willing to waive the cost of crafting the weapon you asked for, Akira. Furthermore, I will maintain it and make it stronger than steel. What do you think of this offer? You can also keep the guide ring I lent you, and there is no need to repay the favor of saving you both in the labyrinth. Akira begins to consider it, but Amelia does not want him to go, as Graham is a professional assassin, and she is very afraid for Akira's safety. However, he apologizes to her, explaining that if Kuro is correct, Graham is responsible for Commander Saran's death. In addition, he has begun targeting you as well, Amelia. Killing him is the only rational choice. Amelia is shocked by these words and remains deeply worried. Kuro then speaks up. Listen closely. Do you remember when I mentioned that Graham is guarded by powerful bodyguards at all times? This is due to drugs, or enhancement potions, that boost a person's combat abilities to rival those of demons while simultaneously stripping them of their free will. He can produce a massive personal army that never disobeys an order. That is why Saran was truly helpless. He couldn't even fend off the enhanced soldiers who outnumbered him. Numbers often overcome bravery. Mr. Butcher must be stopped immediately. He is involved in human trafficking to obtain materials found only in the demon world. Materials he needs to produce more of these enhanced forces. Akira leaves and Amelia follows him. Kuro talks to himself, saying he will suffer regardless of his decision, as the situation is extremely difficult. The scene shifts to the next morning. Akira and Amelia have come to Kuro's place. Leah arrives, asks for permission to enter, and apologizes for what happened yesterday. Akira assures her that she did nothing wrong and simply did her duty. However, she apologizes again because she was unable to prevent the king from asking Akira to do his dirty work. She apologizes once more for her father, the king's, actions. As atonement, she offers to take them on a tour of the city. They indeed tour the city, specifically visiting the High Arts Museum. They also plan to enjoy shopping on the main street after lunch and watch a play that evening, which promises to be beautiful. As they are walking, Amelia suddenly says to them, "Wait, how about I go with Akira and you go with Kuro?" Leah becomes anxious, thinking she has done something to upset Amelia. Amelia denies this, explaining that she simply wants to spend some time alone with Akira. Kuro backs her up, stating that they surely have matters to discuss in private, adding that they can still attend the play together. He suggests meeting at the central fountain square after sunset. Leah is delighted by this. She thanks them for everything they've done for her, bids them farewell, and leaves with Kuro. Akira then talks to Amelia asking why she did that. She answers that she noticed Leah has a crush on Kuro and loves him. Akira objects, pointing out that the age gap could be an obstacle, adding that he heard Kuro is her godfather. Amelia informs him that the beast race does not show signs of aging, so an age gap between couples is quite normal. Akira then realizes she did it for their sake. Amelia then tells him she wanted to speak with him privately, to say that he was never forced to accept Kuro's request. She is certain they could find a solution if they went to the demon world without him, and that the water would never be an insurmountable obstacle. She adds that Lati told her something, that everyone has their own story, even the villains, and no one has the right to end their stories. She then asks him if he ever felt the same way. The scene shifts to Lati and the cat, Yuro, who is growing tired of her presence. He tells her he thought she would lose interest quickly and wouldn't continue tagging along. Lati replies that she had nowhere else to go, as she no longer wished to be around her father. Yuro mentions hearing that they were at odds. She confirms this, stating that even the demon lord has no right to violate the laws of this world. Yoro does not understand what she means. As they wander, Lati asks about a specific building. Yoro explains that it is a small inn where adventurers and merchants stay when traveling between cities, with a tavern on the ground floor. Lati examines the inn closely and notices many horses. Yoro explains they are kept there for express travel. Travelers can swap horses mid-journey to save time, which is why they are stationed there. They enter the inn and meet the owner, who informs them that the food isn't ready yet. There is only bread available, but drinks are ready. He adds that if they wish to stay the night, they should head up the stairs to the second floor. Lati asks for bread and the owner gives it to her. He then asks if she is an adventurer looking to earn some money. She replies that she seeks success in the capital. The owner warns her about the city, advising caution because the high reward missions posted by the guild leadership there are extremely dangerous. Rumors suggest that demons are involved. Lati pays no mind to this, as it poses no problem for her. The owner continues, mentioning cargo transport missions to a human country called Retis. The pay is lower, but he suggests she stick to those tasks. He notes that instead of hiring professional transport companies, the guild leader hires adventurers for these jobs, implying he likely wants to keep the cargo hidden. Afterwards, they leave the inn. Lati asks Yoru what he thinks of her information gathering skills. Yoru is deeply impressed, as they have managed to obtain useful intelligence regarding the guild leader, Graham. Lati speaks to the cat, Yoru, saying that a commoner woman must leave her signature in every building she visits. That was the most important part. The scene shifts to Akira and Amelia. Akira recalls Lati's wise words. He thinks to himself, I had decided to avenge Commander Saran even before meeting you. Amelia tells him, killing Graham will spare you from danger as well. I will become stronger, I will be fine against anyone who tries to target me. Akira reflects on what would happen to Kuro if he refused the offer. He would die a slow death, imprisoned by a desire for revenge that will never be fulfilled. Just as Lati said, that is how his story would end. We then go to Leah, who asks Kuro where they are going now. He tells her she will know everything once they arrive. Leah gets angry because he is treating her like a child and continues to refuse to teach her. Reflection. Finally, they arrive at the destination. Leah is amazed by the place and the flowers. Kuro explains to her, these flowers are called red spider lilies. Akira told me about them when we saw some on our way to Orok. No doubt a hero brought them here generations ago. Akira was surprised to see them because they are plants that do not propagate naturally. Leah tries to touch one, but Kuro stops her, saying, they are poisonous. They are known as the flowers of death and symbolize the afterlife. Perhaps that is why they are so beautiful. I discovered them while wandering the city and wanted to show them to someone. Leah tells him, it is a beautiful, secluded, and quiet place. If you admire a woman, you should bring her here and tell her your feelings. I am sure it would go well. You've been alone for a long time. You would be happier with a partner. Kuro is astonished and asks her about what she just said. Leah tells him, you have been alone for a long time. You would be happier with a partner. He tells her that he has no intention of seeking happiness. When I decided to avenge my sister, I abandoned all my hopes. Since I sought to ruin another person's life, I have no right to be happy. Leah is deeply moved by his words. The scene shifts to Sato, who is hunting animals. He tells his friends that hunting animals is much easier than killing monsters. They decide that the animal he caught will be for dinner and should last for 4 or 5 days. They set up tents and gather vegetables and mushrooms. We then see Sato telling his friend that he still can't believe Gilles is willing to put up with him, and he is grateful for that. His friend tells him that Gilles is doing exactly what Commander Saran would have done, helping them return to their environment in the world where they belong. Sato remarks that Akira didn't want Gilles' help. He didn't like him much and always ignored him. His friend replies that Akira is a good friend, but he isn't very expressive with others. If our sisters weren't friends, Akira wouldn't deal with me at all. He probably isn't interested in others because he is stronger than all of them. Sato tells him, I know that without even fighting him. Akira is different. Furthermore, he never doubts his choices in life, and that is a form of strength. The scene shifts to Akira and Amelia. She asks him if he is really going to go through with it. He tells her he will do it for several reasons. She then tells him to do as he pleases, as long as he has made his decision. Akira asks her, hypothetically, if I did it, would you hate me then? Amelia replies, of course, I would never hate you, but I want the person I love to love himself too. Akira then watches a little girl standing with her mother, looking at some jewelry on display. The mother cannot afford to buy anything for her, so they just look. The girl doesn't want to leave. She wants to stay in front of the jewelry. This triggers a memory for Akira from when he was young. He tells his mother, I don't want to go, Mom. I want to stay here in this house. His mother insists that they must leave. But Akira is deeply hurt and asks, why do we have to leave this house and move our things? Isn't this our home? His mother apologizes to him, as she has no other choice. Akira thinks to himself, my father disappeared when I was a child and we couldn't pay the rent back then, so we moved to a cheap apartment. I don't hate my father. For all those years he took care of my sick mother and stayed up late raising us while working. He was probably on the verge of collapse. In the flashback, his sister gets very angry and refuses to leave the house, telling them to go and leave her behind alone. But Akira begs her to leave with them, saying, family must be together. Our father is gone, so we must stay together. I don't want to lose anyone else. Please, I beg you. Eventually she agrees and they move to another house. Akira prepares dinner for them. They start eating and find it delicious. Akira can hardly believe it himself, as he thought he was bad at cooking. They then agree to take turns cooking, each having a designated day. We return to reality. Amelia notices that Akira is distracted. He tells her it is nothing, but thinks to himself, I hesitated for a moment, but that was another reason. If I return home, a specific outcome crossed my mind. If I return home as a killer, I won't be able to stay with Mom and Yui. I wouldn't have the right. The scene then shifts to Akira's mother and sister. They are listening to the news on the television. It reports that a full month has passed since the mysterious disappearances. 28 students have vanished, and the search is still ongoing. Yui says, I wonder where Akira is and what he is doing right now. Now I'm stuck making dinner every night. Her mother replies, he will return to us very soon. And here our episode ends for today. Stay tuned for upcoming episodes of this wonderful anime. Please subscribe to the channel and activate the bell button to receive all our new updates.
Our episode begins with Noki and Latisse in the city of Orok. Noki reminds her of the need to obtain information about the guild. Latisse knows this well, but she insists on going to eat first. Although Noki wants to eat too, he insists on getting the information, but Latisse drags him along for a sightseeing tour, making it clear that she is technically working. The first step is observing the city while processing audio and visual information in her head. Noki apologizes for doubting her, so Latisse asks a boatman to take them to a famous spot, leaving Noki speechless. And so, they wander around the city, enjoying its splendor. She does everything she has always wanted to do, happy to have escaped from home. Noki's only regret is telling her about this place. While thinking about where to go next, Latisse speaks to an adventurer. She mentions hearing that the guild offers very high-paying quests and asks what they do. However, the adventurer advises against it, explaining that high-paying quests are either illegal or involve deals with demons. He says he can't give details publicly, but since Latisse has 2 good reasons, referring to her beauty and rank, he tells her he can explain it in a secluded place. Haha, yes, what a dirty scumbag. She asks him if he has fallen in love. He admits she is beautiful, but Latisse holds his hand and states that her goal is to be the object of everyone's admiration, politely rejecting him. That night, Noti receives a telepathic order from Akira, and Latisse offers to help. They go to see Graham's house, a mansion much larger than the church, built to show off his power. The mission is to get evidence incriminating Graham, and they decide to wait until dark to infiltrate the palace. In the meantime, they investigate the guild. Latisse enters as if nothing is wrong. She sees some adventurers drinking. When asked why they are there, one replies that those who do Graham's dirty work can drink all they want. Just as they are about to be kicked out, a Beastman invites her to stay with him. She sits him down with her bare hands and breaks his armor, bidding everyone farewell. On the way out, she tells Noki she discovered something interesting. She points out that the height of the second floor does not match the roof's position, implying a secret room between the floors. She throws Noki into that room, where they indeed find something very important. He takes it immediately to Akira, thanking him and thanking Fasti for the help. Seeing that all the evidence Kuro mentioned is written in that scroll, they note that it is very strange. They were able to steal it too easily. They realize immediately what this means. Since it is so important, it should have been guarded in a secret, well-secured place. Kuro mentions the reason is simple. Graham left the papers in an easy spot specifically so they would be stolen. We then cut to Graham. In front of his 4 subordinates, he states there is a traitor among them. After all, only they knew the location of his papers. He explains that he knows they didn't steal the papers themselves, as they caught the thief and will interrogate him to find the traitor's name. Upon saying this, he sees one of them trembling with fear and quickly looking down, so he orders his execution. Having disposed of the traitor, he orders the rest to hunt down the thief, offering a large reward. Back to Akira, he asks Kuro how he knows so much. Kuro ignores the question and mentions he obtained more information about a plot to drag Orok into war. He states that Graham betrayed his men as part of that plan and that the Kingdom of Rights is behind everything. He adds that if evidence appears proving they are trading their own subjects, it would be enough to ignite the conflict. Faced with this, Akira asks to focus on the reason driving them to start a war. Kuro reveals that the King of Rights wants to revive his late wife. Hearing this, Akira remembers the words of Saran, who told him the king had lost his mind and was trying to bend the laws of nature by paying a heavy price. Now he understands what Saran meant and is stunned. Amelia intervenes, saying that's impossible, as her resurrection magic only works if the person has been dead for a few days. Kuro mentions a skill called exchange, which allows reviving a person by sacrificing the lives of many, regardless of how long they have been dead. Hearing this, Noki tells Kuro he seems to know a lot about rights. Kuro explains that credit goes to Giles, who was in the Knights and told him he was expelled for preventing a war with Yamato. This angers Akira, who tears up the evidence without hesitation. However, Kuro explains that it doesn't matter what he does, sooner or later Rights will get evidence against Graham. Akira replies helplessly that he knows. Kuro reminds him that his summoned classmates are still in the royal palace. Therefore, when the war starts, they will be praised as hero candidates and sent to the front lines to die first. Akira explains that he doesn't care about them, but he would feel a guilty conscience if they died. Kuro adds that the fate of them all, whether they die or return alive to their world, now depends entirely on Akira. Faced with this difficult decision, Akira answers that he realizes this. Also, if he gets rid of Graham, he will stop at least one war. Everyone falls silent for a few seconds until Fasti mentions she has obtained important data. Feigning seriousness, she tells them there is a restaurant serving food at a good price, and a bookstore with a 70% discount because Amelia told her Akira likes reading. This eases the tension, and Amelia suggests Akira go out for some fresh air. Noki agrees, and Akira accepts with no other choice. Outside, putting on his coat, Latias advises hurrying to stand in line before the best books run out. She leaves Amelia in charge with her, asking Noki to look after Akira. At the bookstall, Noki mentions that Latias has her virtues. Meanwhile, a thief steals his coat. Of course, Nokia gets it back, but he notices his master is distracted. Akira replies that he wasn't paying attention and is losing his cool. Noki guesses the reason and asks to talk a bit. He tells him that being a deep thinker makes him more attentive to what happens to him, so he wants Akira to tell him what's worrying him because he is his familiar. He asks him not to rely on telepathy, or time will pass without discussing what's important. Being human, his life is short, and it will be the same for him, asking that they say what they feel so they don't regret it. Akira agrees. If he doesn't return to his world, he will regret what he didn't say to his family, admitting he is weaker than he thought. As he said, for Latisse, killing someone means stealing their story, but killing Graham is the most logical thing now. Although he has the assassin class, he hasn't killed anyone because he doesn't possess the essence of a killer. When thinking about the meaning of taking a life, he doesn't believe he can bear such a heavy weight, remembering he couldn't kill a demon that wanted to kill him. Noki asks him, isn't staying alive enough? He doesn't want him to end up like his past. When taking souls, the heart dries up until it becomes a desert. This is what happened to him, and he doesn't want the same for Akira. Sometimes killing for self-defense or to protect others is unavoidable, and in those cases, one shouldn't blame themselves. Akira knows Noki is right. However, in this situation, he hesitates to do it. To Noki, his master isn't weak. He gave him a new story. He is worried that the Demon King changed his mind, but he is now on Akira's side and will do anything for him, including killing in his place, though he knows that would be worse for Akira. Our hero mentions he wants to see Graham first and judge if he deserves to die. On the other hand, he also wants to know what Noki is feeling. Here, the cat admits he does this all the time. Akira remembers that when fighting Magello, he turned into Saran and never said he knew him. He also holds him in high regard, giving him his glove to play with, and Noki falls into the trap. Akira then admits he made him his familiar because he loves cats. Noki admits he can't keep up with him. Now, after these comrades reunite, they plan to enter the previous bar. However, Latisse mentions it's better if she doesn't go in, as they might recognize her. Upon entering, they bump into a man. He harasses them, saying it's not a place for children, but Amelia explains they don't want to deal with him, but rather know when the guildmaster will arrive. This annoys the man, who stands up to teach them some manners. Just as the man is about to throw a punch, Akira stops him easily. The situation almost escalates into bigger problems, but a girl in a waitress outfit appears and stops the man, whom she calls Raoul. The girl introduces herself as Kelia, a worker at the place. When she sees the group, she recognizes them as Princess Amelia and the Silent Assassin. Hearing that name, the fool Raoul's attitude changes completely. He offers them teapots and apologizes to Akira. We discover here that the kind Raoul is a huge fan of the very strong Silent Assassin. While showering him with praise, he kneels, begging to be made his disciple. However, Akira does not refuse here. At that exact moment, the person they were waiting for appears. As expected, Graham Cluster enters the bar with his guards and introduces himself to Amelia as the guild master of adventurers in Orok. Akira stares at him clearly, turning the atmosphere of the place into extreme tension. That concludes our episode for today. To follow the rest of the events, please subscribe to the channel and activate the bell button to receive all updates. Our final episode begins with Akira does not take his eyes off Graham, who is speaking to the princess because he considers her presence there an honor and wants to invite her to his palace for a brief chat. However, our hero stands up, refusing to let her go. Graham becomes enraged because he views him as just a simple commoner who has no right to interrupt a conversation between nobles, as it matters not to him that he is a hero to many or a summoned individual. For his mission should be eliminating the Demon King, not fooling around in other kingdoms, but Akira replies that he can choose whatever he wants. Annoyed, Graham tells him that this is surely what he taught him, and for that reason he does not regret collaborating with the Kingdom of Rights and granting him his night crows. He even states that he has a recording of how she died and enjoys watching it greatly, making our hero realize that he possesses not a shred of remorse, so he thanks him for this confession. In response, Graham orders his soldiers to capture the princess and eliminate anyone who opposes them. They even smash the wheelchair of the woman in charge of this place. But our hero orders them to leave because he will handle the situation and begins fighting the guards. Although they are extremely agile and strong, forcing him to use stealth, he is stunned to see that their attacks remain extremely precise and nearly hit him. However, Graham mocks him. He admits that, after seeing he was the princess's obedient dog, he had them create gems with power similar to Mitra's power, so they would be able to see him even if he used stealth. Our hero tries to wound one of the men and is stunned because his blow was completely absorbed, and those guards don't stop even if he uses them as shields. Furthermore, Amelia uses her power to crush them, but she is shocked to see her dark power absorbed in a second. Nike decides to intervene, so our hero orders her to distract them for a moment while he begins to escape with Amelia. Graham does not intend to let them, but our hero reaches an alley where he meets Lati, who asks them to let her help. Thus, in seconds, they are flying over the city, and both thank her profusely. The girl replies that they are her favorite boys, so she does it with pleasure. Meanwhile, seeing that beautiful view, our hero and Amelia cannot help but recall everything they have lived through together in the recent days. Minutes later, they manage to reach the inn and meet up with but Lati leaves because she admits she doesn't want to see how Akira eliminates people in her presence. Meanwhile, our hero enters the inn and talks with Chrome, admitting to him that he fought those enhanced soldiers, and they are much stronger than he imagined. Although he thinks he can defeat one, in groups they pose a major problem. This is something Chrome already imagined, and he tells him that he must then use his resources as an assassin. But Amelia refuses to accept him doing such dirty work. After a few seconds, our hero tells them they should go rest, although in his state he needs to think about some things. Meanwhile, Graham watches two soldiers bound by magical power, and one of his servants tells him they have already placed all the soldiers he requested at the city exits. Additionally, they are reviewing recordings and locations to find the inn where the princess is located. Graham hopes they find them soon and orders the soldiers to start fighting. This stuns the servant because both soldiers lose their lives right in front of him. He asks Graham the point of this, but he replies that it simply amuses him, and regardless, he can get more men with the enhancing liquid. He also knows that if he captures the princess, he will obtain far more resources than from the demon realm. So he stands up because it is time to go rest, as he must be ready when they find her. A few minutes later, our hero is still thinking about what he should do, but he knows that if he doesn't eliminate Graham, he will hunt Amelia forever. Furthermore, he cannot ignore the fact that he mocked Mitra's death, and he has already made the decision to eliminate him. But just as he is about to stand up, he notices a ball falling from the bag beside him, and remembers this is something Gilles handed to him. He watches a recording playing from the ball, and is stunned to see Mitra greeting him. This is something that hurts him, but Mitra hopes he only sees this recording if something happens to her, as she imagines both are in danger, and it's possible she might die one day. So she wants to leave him these words to remind him of what she always told him, that he must be an assassin who does not end any life in this world if he still wishes to return to his family, because she knows he is a wonderful person and wouldn't be able to bear that burden. Additionally, he has no reason to bear this responsibility, nor anything that happens in this world. He doesn't even have to bear the burden of avenging her death, because she reminds him that he is a person from another world. Therefore, he shouldn't take responsibility for anything, and must live always thinking about returning to those he loves who exist in his other world. But our hero cries because he doesn't understand how he is receiving this message from his commander now, at the moment he has made his decision. He regrets it, and hopes Mitra will forgive him one day. But he must eliminate Graham, even if it goes against his commander's advice. Hard decisions require a strong will. And this is a short stop to remind you to subscribe and write the word dagger if you want to get a shout out in the next video. And a few minutes later, he exits the room and asks Chrome if he has decided, which stuns our hero because he is still awake. The man replies that he must be attentive to his client, for he hired him for a reason. So our hero will carry out the mission, but he won't eliminate anyone who gets in his way. He will only do so to those who don't let him eliminate Graham. Chrome accepts this. Amelia comes out of the room asking him not to do it because she knows deep down he doesn't want to. Our hero confirms this, but he has no other choice and leaves the inn. He even meets Nike, who asks if she should accompany him, but Akira asks her to let him do this alone, a decision Nike respects. A few minutes later, the guards begin to fall after their crystal cores are destroyed. However, our hero sees that another assassin is causing this, and it seems both have the same mission. Although he won't allow him to take his target, because the assassin hired by a noble also recognizes our hero as the silent assassin, he rushes to attack him because he was also hired, and they begin to fight. But while they do this, our hero thinks about the meaning of life and how strange it is that some die even if he isn't the one who has to do it. However, after wounding that man with some daggers and dodging all the attacks directed at him, that assassin's own sword is left to end the duel, clearing the way to go to Garam's room, where he sees him sleeping. This makes the anger and pain grow inside him, so he raises his sword to end all those problems at this very moment. After a while, our hero returns to the inn, and Amelia gets up asking him what happened. But Akira apologizes because he admits that, despite making a drastic decision, when standing before that man, he hesitated greatly and doubted whether he would do it. But what makes him feel most guilty is the fact that after ending Garm's life, he felt nothing. He didn't even feel peace, or at least that he had avenged Mitra. Instead, he feels emptiness, and this disturbs him. If he had known he would react this way, he would surely have ended the life of the King of Rights long before he hurt Mitra. In the end, that king would end up dead. The only difference is whether he would do it soon or delay it further. But Amelia cries upon hearing him, and our hero tells her that he is no longer the same person she tried to protect before, because he crossed a line and became a real assassin. So he understands if she doesn't want to see him anymore. In return, Amelia approaches and hugs him from behind, answering that to her, he will always be the same person, and she will not abandon him, regardless of what he does. This surprises our hero and makes him very happy, because he admits to her that he can hold back and be a much better person if she is by his side. He looks at her with complete gratitude while she cares for him, something our hero swears upon because both are united for life. A few hours later, the news spreads throughout the kingdom, and the king in the palace is informed of Garam's death. This stuns Leah, because she knows it must be our hero. At the same time, Ina tells Sato that she felt something with her intuition skill. It seems Akira has gone through a big change. The boy understands that, but asks her to wait until they meet him to ask and find out what happened. Meanwhile, Lati watches our hero from above, knowing that in this world everyone must lose something, but she hopes to count on his help when the time comes to settle scores with the Demon King. At the same time, our hero begins his journey toward the Demon Continent with his companions, grateful that Amelia and Nike accepted him despite his decision, which he knows might not allow him to return to his other world. He now also knows that if he must be the one to eliminate enemies so his other companions can return to their former lives, he will do it, because that is his destiny as the world's strongest assassin. And here we reach the end of this anime. Let's wait for news in case there is a second season. Thank you all very much for your support. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a nice comment.